Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Hearts Are Blazing Season 1, Episode 2. It's been a couple of weeks as I took a break to help out with Evo France and then IB's first Impact event. As a result, it looks like we've got a little bit of a smaller event this evening. I know there's a couple of offlines going on, so, there's also that. But I'm still, ready and raring to go. We've got a ton of talent in the bracket, regardless. I mean, due to a little mishap earlier, with our seeding. Looks like we've got Agu Bagu versus Xando round 2, so that'll be interesting. I'm joined today by Yucca, though. It's going to be his first time joining us on commentary, so if you want to take a moment to introduce yourself and your stuff.
Yeah, so I'm Yucca. I usually hover around more the Arc System Works Central games, so typically some of the people I see in this list already might be familiar with my work over at Salty U for Strive, and as well as on the Exert side of things, and Central Fiction, so very eager to get involved with all things 2XKO. So this is, I'm stumbling. Oops. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I mean, if you look at the top 8 for last week, I'm just going to quickly grab that because why not? It's my event. It's a small one. I can take my time. But if I go and grab the Episode 1 top 8er, quick. So, look at this. If you're familiar with Strive, this is just Season 1 Strive. A lot of this bracket. It's the Dragon Ball meets Season 1 Strive. Yeah. Barry Bones, Mystic Smash, Xando, Yamini. This is an absolute classic. So yeah, I'd love to see the crossover between these scenes, to be honest. It's been a really refreshing experience. But if you haven't yet, be sure to check out the match for Reno. I know the link is already in the chat right now, so be sure to contribute the codes. We've somehow claimed, more codes than there are people in the bracket so far, so good on you.
Yeah, professionals in chat.
And yeah, we're going to be getting going in just a moment with our first match, which is going to be Jester versus Moss, which two phenomenal UK players. It's going to be a team kill, which is a bit sad, but...
It always happens. Yeah, I did see Jester hop on, if I'm not mistaken, was it? No, I'm trying to think back. Was it Jester that was playing on the Champions Monthly that happened this Friday? I believe so. But
Jester has been signing up to everything, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? With the infancy of this game, to just get as much experience as possible, just hop into just about everything. Because there's, of course, going to be this separation of what you can get on net play versus what you can get on these brackets. Sort of there's this unwritten rule in brackets where everyone's just kind of in it to win it, to do the absolute most. Whereas on sort of just hit the ranked mode, you kind of find people there just at it for the repetition, get the volume of games in, rather than sort of maximizing the quality in the short span they have, or the limited amount of games they have before they have to leave the bracket.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, everyone approaches practice in different ways, but all I know is that Jester's method so far has been pretty successful. Just sign up to every bracket, he's been doing pretty well.
Play the highest level of players, absolutely. So there you go. We're gonna be missed the character select, but that'll be solved very quickly. Interesting. Ari Blitzcrank. We don't see Blitzcrank all too much lately. I remember the very initial discussion where it's oh my god, restand assist is gonna go absolutely crazy, but the conversation has absolutely been dominated by the remaining 3 characters on these teams: Ari, Echo, and Yasuo, naturally.
Yeah. Oh lord, filter out isn't working. There we go. Nice.
All good. Jester is already off to a great start here. Has Moss locked in the corner. We see a tag attempt into Blitzcrank. It's not going to be working out. Still trapped into the corner. Pressure is maintaining. Handshake. There's the mix. Instant overhead off that J2H. And the burst is not going to be baited out. I'd imagine I actually didn't keep track of that enough freestyles left. Could have possibly gone for the bait there. But there is the handshake. And yeah, could be a dead Blitzcrank right here.
So, nice little fact for anyone. Jester was originally playing Echo Jinx, but obviously following the patch, Jinx really did take a hit. I mean, I was a Jinx player, so I feel pretty comfortable saying this. Oh, never mind. Is this going to be it? Because Echo can do double super from here. Oh no, just going into Yasuo. Misses the extension. Never mind. But yeah, Jinx took a pretty sizable hit. Notably, in solos especially, the Echo Jinx team, one of the main selling points was the handshake, the minigun handshake. But that got essentially killed in the patch, unless you play duos, because obviously in duos, both players can take complete control over their character. So it's a little bit of an odd situation, but then on top of that, she got like phased out by Teemo just doing everything that she does and everything that she did before she got nerfed, but better.
Right, absolutely. It's one of those, I think, familiar comparison to that would be the release of Bilal in Granblue's infancy, where everybody got kind of switched out, but then Bilal was still on the old game plan.
Yeah.
And therefore just dominated them for a very long time.
But here we're going to be seeing another phenomenal character. I mean, Moss, I wasn't aware that, I wasn't aware that Moss played the game, but on the Ahri Blitzcrank, Double Down, an interesting team. I usually see like 2X or Freestyle with this team, but honestly, it's hard to go wrong with Ahri and Double Down.
Yeah, it's always going to be fantastic damage. I do wonder if we're going to see any sort of utilization of the double down super handshake with this setup. As I believe with Freestyle, you usually want to set up some really blinding mix-ups and 2x assists. Definitely with the Ahri just flying across the screen could cover for some of the neutral problems of Blitzcrank. However, that hasn't been too much of a trouble for Jester. He's been getting that throw break, wonderfully putting it back to the corner, but there is the super assist. We're going to go for the break here for the momentum.
Got the scoop, and then you get the wind-up Oki. Good jump, and again, you have so long to punish that in a game where, like, just drops the combo for no reason. We're in this.
Come down for a little bit, but yeah.
No.
Oh, no, the Actiframe's extended there by hitting the Blitzcrank. How unfortunate.
Oh, Jester getting away with absolute robbery there. I cannot lie.
Classic. I think I've been more tripped up by the opponent hitting my character and then by extension hitting me either off a cancel or just the extension of the active frames, then I have been able to punish them for being trapped there, hitting my character.
Nice little conversion starting off. And again, I really love this extension. I don't know why. I haven't seen this yet. I'm sure every Yasuo Echo freestyle, you know, there's 50 billion of them. I've been doing this extension forever, but look at the skew. I haven't seen it yet.
Fair enough. I feel like I've seen more, like, with the Echo, you typically just see the 2x of, because, well, my time, the classic. Everybody's, well, depending on who you ask below.
You've seen the Aliette Faye infographics that she does for every game. Freestyle Echo Yasuo is by far, like, by you know, an order of magnitude, the most popular team in the game at the moment, in the top level of play. If it's the best team, you know, it's another discussion, but it's definitely a good team. It's definitely good enough.
But it must be by just the popularity factor alone here, but already Moss getting a beautiful touch here with Blitzcrank, because if anything, this character just dispenses the hurt down to that last pixel, but will unfortunately, I think this is more of an unfortunate situation, having to spend the super bar there just to get that kill.
I think that was more of a panic situation, because I think you could have just killed with a regular OTG, but, you know, I haven't played Crank, so who knows?
At the very least, right, you could take the fact that you get the fully charged steam off of the super.
With 3 bars on the Ahri as well, then mine. I mean, Moss looking so in control this round.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the main struggle is, of course, when you eliminate one of these characters. Yasuo is very much a neutral demon, but it's still quite a grueling task to have to face off against 2 characters and make that approach work.
It's getting the air throw, and Yasuo confirms that. Greatest of ease. Go straight into the limit strike, Oki. Okay. I mean, the second hit will kill anyway. And yeah, because of the freestyle, you can get a really extended ground chain. So that's a bunch of extra damage tacked onto the beginning of the combo. Let's see the double super. Yeah. He needs it.
he needs it. He needs this and the OSs. Riot's Golden Boy. Oh, there we go. Big 5M starter there for Moss on the Blitzcrank. Gonna do quite a bit of damage.
Honestly, even as a as a hater in heart, I would rather Echo, as he is right now, exist than, like, you know, I would rather fight 100 Echoes than 1 Teemo.
Yeah, certainly. I think the Teemo character definitely shuts down way too many characters from, just in general, actually playing the game.
I mean, as a Jinx Ahri player, I always struggled with Yasuo, but the fact that I now have to, like, be okay with Yasuo existing because Teemo's in this game, it's hard times, you know, it's hard times.
Hard times out there. There you go. Ooh, that's a big hit there. It's gonna snipe out the Echo here. Yeah, Jester gonna be hanging on to that break, saving it instead for the Fury. However, definitely looking. Oh, what an air throw! That's gonna work out beautifully for them in the end. conserving that Fury, making it a break instead for this set point situation here. Of course, Moss hanging on to that Fury the whole time. We're going to also have the break available, but there is going to tick throw. Going after Jester, sets up the roll. Same side, good blocks, going for the push block. Wants to create a little bit of space and go back to the mid screen here. Ooh, the parry whiff. That's an expensive meter loss.
Yeah, especially in the game as it is right now. I mean, we certainly still have a shit ton of meter, a little bit less than last patch at least. Still feel like that's one of the main nerfs that they really need to go ahead and put into the game. Making us have to worry about our resource usage a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. I find it more often than not. It's like, hey, why does the opponent just have meter again? Why am I holding another double down?
Especially if we're going to have these fucked up ass comeback mechanics in Fury and some of the last stands in this game.
Absolutely true. Oh my god. Good defense, as I said. Commentary curse striking once again, but
back throw.
Little execution error from Jester is going to set up.
Wow.
Ooh, no armor, and that is going to be the Hail Mary level 3, eliminating the Blitzcrank off of Moss. Down to just the Ahri, no Fury available, and not too much health to work with either. Still plenty of meter gain, but compared to just how much is on the favor of Jester, this is going to be a Goliath of a task to make this comeback.
Oh, well, okay. And counter hit 2S2 from Ahri. Like, if you've seen the SKD routes, it's just an absolute party starter if you know the right routes. Also, one sec, I've just realized that I've got fucking flags turned on. Apparently, we've got Moss from Brazil.
Shout out to Brazil.
Shout out to Brazil. Alright, and on that note as well, with this being a little bit fucking optimal, look at what I'm going to do. Yeah. Because I'm not sure why, but it seems like this is just a borderless thing. I saw on Steam side a couple of frame drops there. Guarantee that if I put this shit in full screen, that'll not happen anymore. It'll just make us have to deal with a little bit of screen freezing on alt tabbing. But with any luck, shouldn't be doing all that much of that because you guys know how to run events, you know? I'm just the TO, you know? I put up a bracket and all of you do the rest of the work.
Yep. I mean, that's a standard thing. If you want to increase the performance of any program, just running it in full screen is a good start.
Yeah, it's just a trade-off that, like, so if it performs better, it looks better. But the problem is that then it's harder for me to do TOing and other stuff, which is why I had it in borderless this time. But there have been no issues, and we're already in, like, winners quarters, where I'm certain everyone knows what they're doing. So with that said, I'm just going to get our next players into the bracket now. It's going to be a ridiculous matchup for round 2, which is Xando versus Agu Bagu, pardon.
Yeah, not the Crash Bandicoot character, but indeed, probably our most likely expected, at least to see in winners semis, probably would expect to see them around winners finals type of matchup, but due to slight oopsies, we're going to be having them in round 2, so an early little treat. Hopefully, whoever goes down to loser's side will make the full return to grace the stream later on in the evening, but for now, we'll just be eating the dessert before the main course.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at the quality of players that we have in this relatively small bracket, I mean, I think after check-ins, we're down to 17 players. More than half of the bracket are people that you would expect to see in the top 4 of a tournament, so you know, it's going to be rough no matter what you do.
Exactly. I think it's an unspoken thing where typically the big volume of players you see in brackets or events are the bedrock of any sort of fighting game community, which are the O2ers, and making sure that they show up is of course quite the task. It's all about community and proper visibility of what's occurring, so that they are aware and show up and bring you those really spicy big numbers that you can show off to all your fellow TOs.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you run these events for the community. You run them because
absolutely,
you want to have a good time. So if I can give anyone, you know, everyone's donating me their time every time that they sign up to these brackets. So if it's a big one or a small one, it doesn't make a difference to me. The only thing that matters is that people have a good time with the event, and I get to watch some good ass 2x gear. You know, it's a win-win.
Absolutely. And speaking of donating a little bit of time, if the chat could donate some of their time, head over to Matcherino. Still got plenty of codes left to be claimed on. So if exclamation mark Matcherino, always the same type of command all around. Exclamation mark Matcherino, get that link, hop on over, hit that claim go button, sign in if you haven't done so already with a service of your choice. Once you complete that process, that'll be 25 cents you contribute to the prize pool, right? Every little bit helps, and you'll be supporting these players who are coming in, you know, spending a bit of their time to put on this fantastic show. Some good ass 2Co for all y'all.
Absolutely right, and we're going to be getting into it now.
I still.
There we go.
Yeah, and the beauty of seeing Zondo play is that he plays the team I like to play, although what's interesting is he plays Vi point, so I'm curious to of course learn more. We're all students of when we see these high-level players put on the work, but right now Agubago off to a great start here. The main thing I would imagine from these two characters that Zondo's repping is they suffer a bit of neutral problems, but of course with some really precise time you can get right in there and hopefully show up some of the great damage that is afforded to these two, but still Agubago is very much in control, getting a pickup off of that little bushfire there.
So what I like, the immediate impression that I get on Zondo starting with Vi is that in general, Warwick is one of those characters that's like win more, right? You establish your win condition and then, my god, never mind. That was almost a happy birthday with both characters dying. This is double down Yasuo Teemo, so the output is ridiculous. That's probably still going to be Warwick dead, but luckily Vi managed to slip away.
Yeah, thankfully that could have easily also been the Vi there. I think Yasuo does suffer a little bit on converting happy birthdays from what I've seen as so far. Typically when Yasuo scores a happy birthday, we find that one character slips out and throughout the combo.
Yeah, so essentially, oh right. I see it the match arena linked. I'll sort that out after this game though, about it. But yeah, so with Yasuo, I feel like the patch did actually help his consistency on happy birthdays. That JS2 that we saw there, it used to fall out a lot, but now it relatively reliably vacuums in. But you know, it's still not an easy task to keep him in, especially with like variable body sizes. Teemo being you know, a small character, Warwick being a big character, they had to cover both bases for the nuke.
Absolutely, with an interesting little ender there. Typically not the greatest amount of OQ to acquire, but for the kill there and able to acquire the Bloodlust state there is a wonderful start here against. Yeah. Interestingly though, going for that overhead on the tag, making it a mid though.
A back throw would have been huge, but yeah, you have to be so afraid here. It's Yasuo in Fury with 3 bars if the last stand with Teemo, so you really have to make sure you don't drop this. There we go, keep it nice and simple. Even in Bloodlust, you know, where the combos are a little bit inconsistent at the moment, it feels like Warwick needs maybe a little bit of a pass. Keeping it nice and simple, getting that kill. Ah, and there we go.
Oh yeah, there's the classic. There, hold it down a little bit. Still, Warwick suffering a few of the dart hits here makes it that there was an opportunity for Vi to slip out through all of that, right? Not getting the full pickup. Awkward conversion for Agubago, but does find yet another happy birthday, this time on Teemo, and just already the conversions are looking a lot more stable. Oh no!
And ran into the bush. No, this is gonna. Welcome to Bullet Hell. We're playing Toho now.
Yeah. Trying to do what he can with the Warwick to clear a little bit of screen space, but that's his call there with the Yasuo dashing on through, able to catch Vi on the attempt on one of the footwork. Or I think Zondo was looking to go for a footwork follow-up.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, what I was gonna get to earlier is that in this matchup in general, I feel like with Warwick being more of a win, you know, being a win more character, and Vi having, you know, one of the better times at trying to maybe deal with it. Got the happy birthday? Nothing. Yeah, this Warwick really struggles to convert those.
I'm surprised. I think he was unsure of the range, because in the corner you can most definitely go 2H delay 2S2 to be able to get a solo pickup in the corner. But I think he was just a little worried.
Not easy either though. It's pretty. Oh, yeah. Never mind. We're getting a second happy birthday. Beat the first. No, what are we doing? What are we doing?
That is
okay. The rat's dead.
Is burst pickups. Those are always weird. Another one.
There we go. 2S2. Got the anti-air. Alright, Zando clutching up when it matters most, you know? Had us going for a second, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, right? Win more character. Being able to get so many of these happy birthday hits on the Warwick while in either Fury or in Bloodlust state, to get so much damage on the table. Oh, wow. Okay, skipping ahead in time here. There we go. The solo pickup in the corner.
Gonna keep fix it nice that eventually, I'm sure.
What a snipe though, no pickup, and I'm surprised to not see him use the dedicated follow-ups he can get from the Bloodlust state. However, now Agubago with a little quick combo is going to instead extend it a little further with the handshake, the limit strike, building up that gauge, with Mushroom to cover, and catches both players. You will not be attempting neutral today.
Certainly not. I mean, the thing is in general about the Yasuo Teemo team is that it does just immediately end neutral, and then obviously with the Yasuo, I don't know, it feels bugged to be the stance heavy, being able to loop so many times. It also means that the output that this has is absolutely absurd. And speaking of, this looks like there's going to be a dead character on, what, the 15th Happy Birthday we've seen?
Yeah, I guess it's just the nature of the 2xKO where so much of neutral is dominated by assist calls that inevitably just trying to get a little bit of your own presence in the match will have you risk being the Happy Birthday. But here we go, a wonderful start. They're going to just end it simple, trying to get a throw to finish things off. Surprised to not see one last cancel. I guess he wanted to hang on to the Bloodlust state for a mix-up, but there's the level 3 getting parried beautifully here by Agubagu. Has level 3 of his own, and I think that is going to be a very dead Warwick.
Alright, I'm going to beat level 3. I mean, this is the second level 3 of this round. Giving Agubagu another round on the board. I mean, it's very similar to what we saw last time, but Xando did clutch it up. So let's see if Agubagu can, you know, keep himself alive, keep this going. Again, what is neutral? Oh, didn't even call the assist, though. And yeah, Vi does have the ability to, you know, get through a lot of that Teemo zoning.
Yeah, low profiling and looking really good here. Interesting little extension. Gonna keep it simple, shimmying, waiting for some kind of wake-up response. Able to get a nice clip there, and that's gonna be the break there from Agubagu. But a beautiful jump back into the heavy. He's gonna deny the entry for the time being, but there is the power of 2x assist.
Which, you know, traditionally you'd see, you know, really going into the win more condition of this team, doing the Vi Volt Breaker assist, you know, Vi Volt Breaker super into Warwick 2s2 loops. But we saw that right there, you know, this is exactly why Xando values the neutral control of 2, like, Lariat style strike assists for 2x.
Yep. Absolutely. Something that Vi also has, of course, with the Vault Breaker, but I believe that had been changed since the early access where Vault Breaker did feel like it came out a lot faster. Oh my goodness. Limit Strike, bring him closer. Oh, what? Did he end up trying to buff or something?
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're getting level 3. Get your ass to the corner. Oh, you're dead! You're dead as hell!
It must surely be an execution error. Plus frames. That is very beautiful to see, of course, going straight into his own level 3, just back to back here, doling out the damage. Maybe also a dead Teemo, but nevertheless a very scary situation to wake yourself up into there. Has one Fury Bar, but he won't have enough health to activate it. Nevertheless, right, Agubagu with the round lead is going to be hanging on to that break gauge there for this final round of game number 2.
Alright, so again, we're seeing the same opening as last time, but this time Xando got hit overhead, managed to slip out of the combo, and now we're back to, you know, some regularly scheduled Teemo neutral on the frying pan.
Yeah, looking for that falling JM to hit that beautiful radial hitbox going, but a quick pebble denying the Vault Breaker approach here. Now we can see Xando playing a little bit more careful, trying to find an opportunity to deploy his assist, but has to deal with this Teemo zoning. Warwick does, of course, have his projectile invuln run, but Teemo can just punish you for attempting to run through his stuff.
Alright, so well, just gonna go spend both. Fair enough. And Teemo already having 2 medals set up. Obviously, the Dart one is usually the one that tends to be left behind at the moment. Never mind, they're getting crossed up all the way to the corner with you, but this is going to be a really uphill battle for solo Vi. Try and win out. Warwick's last stand is pretty good, though.
Ooh, interesting little tech catch situation. Gonna go for yet another limit strike.
Yeah, unfortunately, immediate jump cancel to bait it. Really good from Agubagu. That's it.
Yeah. No drop. Opportunity.
Oh my god. And one happy birthday there could easily have turned that around. Agubagu putting himself on 1.
I think, yeah, even with the happy birthday situation, it would have been a little bit scary because you will deal a good amount of damage on the Yasuo that's hiding in the back, but the Teemo was so low health.
There we go.
Hold up. Get
Do
in
that
there.
rat. Oh, nice.
Anti-air. Get down. Playing the game now.
Really solid stuff from Xando so far. Nice, good retreating guard. Kind of essential if you're beating like solo Yasuo style. Oh, now gonna see a break, or we're just gonna hold on to it. Opting to hold on to
holding
it.
on to it.
Fell out of the combo as well, so back to neutral. Leave the dog alone!
Oh no, going for the 5L, trying to stuff something out there, but a little bit of a limited jab. However, you just see the control that Yasuo can pull out there, right? Just backing away, looking for Xando to overcommit and getting a beautiful punish on the Warwick here. We see Teemo setting up all these shrooms, set up the beggar shroom in the back. That Devious little rat getting to all kinds of mischief.
And there we go, we're going to be coming straight into the level 1. And Agu Bagu looking, really solid at the beginning of this round. Oh.
The
Really
last
big
hit. I mean,
hit.
Agu Bagu was ready for it.
Yeah, a reminder that all 3 hits are overheads there.
Yep. It's early access. We'll get there. Oh, mashing. Let's go. And the assist able to cover just outside of the range of somehow outside of the range of Vi's hits there, not being clipped out. So gonna be putting Agu Bagu now on set point. However, there comes the Warwick fishing the Teemo from the sky. That should be super here.
No Oki though, but you still have Teemo in the corner. Just immediately gets away with doing the blowpipe. That's so sad. Should we buff the projectile info on Warwick stuff so I can just run through all of these pesky Teemo darts? That'd be so nice.
Make his make all the follow-ups projectile on. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be really funny. While we're at it, make all of Yasuo's follow-ups from the wind wall projectile. Would be excellent.
That would help. All of a sudden, my problems with Ari Warwick would be gone. They live in the high life.
Okay, good throw break. Backing away, but
there
no,
we
the
go.
wall breaker is going to instantly deny any and all Teemo shenanigans. But we're going to see what a slip through. Oh my
By
goodness.
neutral, we all know and love. Tap S1. Alright, looks like we're going to be seeing the kill. And now, Xander stealing momentum back. It looks going to be a hard one for Yasuo to win. In fact, I do believe that. Okay, never mind. Commentator's curse.
Happens, but oh wow, what's all out there?
That's so scary.
Yeah, just that timing could be so tricky where suddenly you have to swap the guard so fast. But Agu Bagu ready to challenge with a normal now, using the mushroom to guarantee himself a bit of a safe Oki. Gonna get the happy birthday, and now it has to be a break from Zondo. Unfortunately, would have most likely liked to keep the momentum up, as you can easily see him closing out the round. But there we go into final game, final round. Zondo with next no break available.
2S2 on the anti-air straight into the super is, it's one of the better things about Warwick. It feels a little bit inconsistent, 2S2 conversions in general. But, 2S2 is a phenomenal anti-air.
Yeah, absolutely. Just Warwick hitting that up dog slightly makes it that when somebody jumps at you rather aggressively, you end up hitting a bit too far behind them. But,
Yeah,
2S2
one of the better
definitely
answers
covers
also. Ooh, Evro, okay. Agu Bagu, making a statement right now. It's going to be a really hard comeback for solo Warwick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, still win more character, right? If by some miracle Zondo can find a few of these hits, go survive through a combo break, he could the Warwick is definitely a character that can mount comebacks, but by the looks of things, he is not going to be leaving this corner anytime soon. Does try to attempt the 2S2, but gets tagged out by the low wind projectile from Yasuo. Throw break on both sides is slightly escorting him all the way to the other side, but Agu Bagu finds an opportunity to tech back into the Teemo and just push blocks him into the shroom off screen.
Yeah, perfect. No, what? The Warwick throw animation is so fast that didn't actually end up triggering the mushroom in the first place, but what a phenomenal level 3 to call out the stance jump.
That's just going to be a really good start, right? Get that blood.
That's so much damage.
Yeah, Fury
That's
level
it?
3 in the rope throw, just that character vaporized, but here
And he
comes
hits?
the real trick. What are we doing?
Can't you just... No, yeah, I thought maybe you could just use the 6S1 to get through.
Yeah.
Emote just staying alive overhead. That's There we go. Xando with the comeback. What on earth? The composure.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Warwick is the character to try and pull this off, even though it's going to be one hell of a task to try and get through the neutral that is the Yasuo Teemo double down setup. But if you do break on through, it's it's very doable. You just saw with Fury, no less, the damage you can dish out with Warwick is just the type of stuff you're looking for.
I mean, that was pretty solid play from both players, but not what you expect when you have winners round 2 match that is Xando versus Agu Bagu. Be honest. With that said, though, let's go ahead and look at the bracket roll. How things are. Watching stream. Alright, so Agu Bagu taken down by Xando, against Habaduba now. And then Jester all the way up in our top 8 already, as well as Kuriten. Players that, definitely not surprised to see up there. And we're going to be seeing Yim versus Zadavan coming up next, which again, for all you Strivers out there, this is a Strive match. you know, plain and simple. It's, Season 0, Strive top 8 right there. And down on the loser side, we got Full Metal Fury, Dorix, Lord Wets, Moss, of course, we saw go down there, and then Era versus Bagu. And as a quick reminder, if you haven't yet, we still have 28 codes for Matcherino. I fixed the codes. Well, I fixed the Nightbot commands, so it'd be all good to drop that in whenever you can. It takes 2 clicks. I know you have socials, so make sure you do that.
Absolutely. It goes a long way to support these players who are putting on this beautiful, beautiful 2xKO content all for free on this Sunday evening.
And yeah, next up we're going to be having Yamini versus Zadovan. I don't think I've actually seen Zadovan play yet, but Yamini did take the win in our launch party event, so very familiar with his play and his Blitzcrank. We're seeing, honestly, more and more Blitzcrank lately, and I don't think I'm necessarily upset with that.
Yeah, of course, we saw the infamous tweet come out with the top 8er. I believe it was it a TNS event where it's just dominated by Echo Yasuo's or throw in Echo, Yasuo, Ari, and any 3 combinations of those characters, and Teemo, of course. And then you had the ongoing discourse of like, wow, esports, huh?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, if I remember correctly, that was DIY. I think it was the offline LAN. It was something like that. It was I'm not sure. No, maybe it was just TNS, or maybe it was like a TNS's offline bracket. Either way, yeah, 8 echoes. But again, I would rather see 8 echoes in the top 8 than a single fucking rat. So you know what? Fine by me.
I think it depends entirely who you ask.
Yes.
More often than not, I definitely. People would rather stray away from a homogenous looking top 8 where everyone ends up picking the same package, but it's the nature of a game that is highly competitive to begin with, so everybody is quick to find what is the strongest combinations, the strongest individual characters, and put them all together, right? Build your strongest game plan, because there's a lot on the line. You need to be prepared. As I think the season of things are starting to ramp up. Right now, there isn't something like an Arc World Tour for 2xKO, but I believe once season 1 officially rolls around, Riot is ready to announce something of the likes, right? Doing, of course, their most with the first Impact series, supporting all manners of events online and offline, which is a beautiful thing to see. And with the kind of money that's on the line, you would be, it's very understandable that these players are going immediately for the top 2 pick without really spending too much time to investigate whether or not Braum is sleeper OP.
I mean, I think a lot of people are discovering that that there's a lot more to Braum originally met the eye, especially after the patch. But with that aside, the top 4 characters are just frictionless. I mean, why would I opt to play a character like Warwick or Braum who don't have 6-frame jabs when? Or even Alawi, you know? We're living in a world where Jinx and Alawi feel like they've genuinely been power crept from one patch. In a roster that's already relatively small. But if we do take into account all of the futures options, etc., there's still a lot of potential for diversity in the game as it stands right now. We're just not seeing that because the top tiers are so polarizingly strong. And again, the word that I think summarizes it the most is they are just so frictionless. They are definitely Nepo baby characters. Never had a problem in their lives. It can't be solved by just throwing meter at it, or
Right.
My time. Or Teemo super into handshake,
Absolutely. On that note, with the Teemo handshake super, I'm going to try and verify this real quick, because Zadovan was playing at the Champion Monthly bracket this Friday, so we did get to see his team pull up, and if I'm not mistaken, it does involve Teemo. But what the interesting quirk was, I think it was Yasuo Teemo freestyle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to verify that.
Wouldn't be too surprising. I mean, it's a common team. Right, we have both of our players ready now, so. What I might do, I let round 1 play off stream for one. A relatively short stream, and if we stream top 8, and waiting a little bit, feel comfortable with. But we'll see.
That's fair. All right. Hearing in the background that both players are ready.
Yep. Versus Zalavan. It looks like Zalavan on that freestyle. No Yasuo.
So
Interesting.
in the end, it was as I'd mentioned. So typically you'd see the double down, right, with the Yasuo going straight into the handshake super, but instead valuing the flexibility of handshakes over other strengths in situations.
So I was a big believer in Jing, but you know, with freestyle especially from the beginning. My head actually didn't end up panning that much, even when Jinx. But Eddie has been consistently showing really solid, showing us exactly how it's done.
Right. Here we go, Zalavan off. Fury time unfortunately running out, so it's going to be very tricky to make this comeback now, but there's the handshake into the minigun. Let him go all the way up. Big wall bounce, snatch to the ground. What kind of setup are we getting off of this? Though the OTG for sending them up into the sky. Just look at all this damage being dished out right now.
Yep.
Again?
Yeah, similar to Warwick, right? Fireworks gives so much hit stun that you can just hard tag. And same as like Teemo SD Super. So characters that can combo at the top of the screen like that, like Vi, Warwick, Blitzcrank, they can, you know, do like babies, like Fisher Price version of Double Down.
Right.
So you can actually loot that like repeatedly as well by using, well, assuming you have SS cooldown.
I think if I'm not mistaken, right, the benefit of being able to do, you call it Fisher Price's Double Down, but Double Down does have that inherent penalty for going straight into super for that, like the damage penalty. So if you're just freestyling the supers into each other, right, linking them effectively, that's the max damage of it all on all of it.
Yeah, you know, we've seen that you can spend like 3 years, or if you can get into level up with the character as well. But we see a lot of stuff from like SKD, the Ari stuff. Essentially, it does make me think that Double Down is just lazy now for characters. You know, Ari. For example, like Double Down, Ari, Warwick is a fine team, but there's absolutely and handshake buffering and a little bit of better combo optimization to be able to set up the double super out the Double Down, whilst, you know, still maintaining one of the benefits of. But it's hard to argue with how simple and effective Double Down can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think unfortunately hitting at the very top of the super, but just a big old stomp, big boot in the screen is going to end things here.
Good one. I haven't seen it hit like that before.
Also, your VTuber program is covering the screen for me right now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Alright,
the stream can't see that.
Yeah, no, I was looking over, it's like, okay, stream's all good. I'm just gonna have to guess what's happening on the right side of the screen.
Bottom right as well.
Yeah, exactly, so, but when I just saw Zalavan make that comeback, it's like, alright, this looks pretty good. I see the health decreasing on Yemeni.
There we go, we got the throw combo still. Yeah. Gaining the solid Oki, you know, that Jink still has that. It's still one of the strengths of Jink. But Teemo has similar Oki for throwing down a shroom. Also has a ridiculous solo mix up with the Ebb.
You just love seeing your character get power crept. You see a big drop there from Zalavan, opting to instead attempt to go for a hard burst bait. Again, no conversion. Yemeni just getting to hang onto this break for free, no stress. As now trying to find the next hit, using the wind wall to deny some of Jinx's presence in the map. The tornado able to run under the empowered helicopter monkey there, but beautiful parry is going to get that big Blitzcrank punish.
I've got to say, Yemeni really impresses me with how well he manages handshake buffering on both characters. Like, this guy must be doing some insane stuff with his hands.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if a fighting game player who has experience with playing piano, they can do some wonderful inputs that allow them to really maximize the effectiveness of things in tag games, especially.
Like, handshake buffering, there are some unavoidable restrictions unless you're playing, like, example. But seeing someone like having seemingly, at least, very good control over both characters at the same time whilst doing the handshake buffering,
Yeah, certainly. And there we go. Gonna finish things off there with the Blitzcrank Super. Now, Zadovan on the Dire Straits. Still has Fury on Yasuo, so could make for a good comeback attempt. But we see the hard bait. However, able to get the throw at the end. No OTG conversion. Jinx suffering a bit of damage, but here comes the Teemo bombs and does get that mix up with the 2H. Unfortunately, no for the pickup. Oh, getting out the parry. However, didn't end up getting the punish. Still, though, able to find an anti-air there. But these conversions are a little bit lacking. Does find a happy birthday, but again, these characters keep slipping out. Zadovan is scoring a significant amount of hits, but the damage is not reflecting the amount of wins he's getting in these neutral situations. Oh, oh. Oh, not quite. Okay, 5L. It's definitely very, very possible, but you do have to get through this bullet hell a bit. We see, I think he's trying parry attempts there, but he is hitting a lot of stray hits, and it's not going to be enough. Zadovan, unfortunately, will be sent down to the loser's side by Yamini, as just the Jinx screen control was far too strong to deal with. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have a do you?
Mm-hmm. Sound of fun. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, of course. You meant true. That would be a really fun gimmick to see on these duos tournaments, is people just finding a mashup of their individual handles to combine it into two, or just give free reign over to the commentators, like do something funny with that, because it of course applies whenever you have the active player on the screen to be like, oh yeah, that player is busy, but a little bit of whimsy here will to get us through these homogenous echo top 8s. Right. Dude, I'm gonna have to jump in here real quick because you're saying some wonderful things, but the stream can't hear you. I don't know. I glanced over, and Falk is letting me know that only I'm audible, and you're saying some very interesting things and shilling indeed a very cool event in Ireland happening very, very, very soon, with signups closing at midnight. But
yeah, they can hear me now.
What we're seeing is randomly you just open Twitter.
Noisegate is gone, so we're just gonna rock this instead. Let me just quickly open my DMs with Shanae, because yeah, like I was trying to say, we do have IGM coming up next weekend. I'm going to be there, as well as people like Asura, etc. So if you haven't yet, signups are going to be going down at midnight. It is a Riot affiliated event, so there's going to be plenty of prize money. So make sure to hop into StarGG, sign up if you haven't yet. If you want to spend your Halloween running some spooky events with us. But what I was looping up that around to say is that we actually have Xando playing now, and Xando, has scheduled to run a monthly 2v2 bracket called Rekka. And I really do feel like 2v2 brackets in general have been a little bit underrepresented. That there's so much potential there for really fun 2v2 events to be more of a highlight. So I might speak to Shine and see if I can do like an impromptu side bracket of 2v2 only whilst I'm at IGM next weekend. But that does mean, of course, no HAV this weekend. And I'm looking forward to seeing if we get another iteration of the 2v2 event Rekka from Xando in the future.
Yeah, I think unfortunately with the concept of duos right now is that it's a very potential man idea, in that everyone is highlighting all these possibilities that could make it really, really interesting, really, really, really powerful. I think one of them was highlighted by Lazarus, talking about how it's two players on the screen who could play entirely different things, because even though it's two different characters that you're fighting, if it's controlled by one player, they still have general habits you can pick up on and punish accordingly. But when it's two players shaking up everything you were thinking was working for the one opponent, now you have to see, does that work on this other one, and what do I have to answer quickly? So there's these small things, as well as you mentioned, just having still that individual control over the character in the handshake situations. I think there was those twins from Japan. I think they were like the highest. Everyone was looking towards them to be the big answer, like, oh yeah, they're going to demonstrate how impactful duos can be. But for now, I think it unfortunately falls very much under the gimmick side of things. Although you have those two, the names are slipping me, but one of them I believe is Robo Luigi. They're also putting in massive
work. And then Elbado, yeah. They're twins as well. So there are plenty of really interesting examples, to be honest. We had like. So
you need to be a twin to play duos, huh?
I mean, at least to have really early on that level of synchronicity that's required to make the most out of duos. I definitely think so. But at the same time, I do agree with Lazarus that I think it's just a matter of time before a duo comes along that can show us exactly there are genuine strengths that can only be accessed at a system level by duos. In the case of, let's say, Jinx, let's say you're playing Echo Jinx. You are explicitly nerfing yourself by not playing that team in duos. So at the moment, my duo partner is Maka, and that's like the one time that I get to still play Jinx and feel happy. But yeah,
what do you still have access to when you're playing duo Jinx?
So in duos, you both control your own character. So you can have a lot more freedom and control over handshake tag. So for example, you can do the old minigun into Rocket into Zap setups that Echo used to really love properly, whereas now, because they changed Jinx's 5S2, making it so that you can cancel a lot earlier on 5, the minigun, it meant that you couldn't hide your inputs in the same way that you used to be able to without just immediately doing the Rocket. So that in duos, that's not an issue. You have complete control over your characters, not to mention it just being a hell of a lot easier.
Fair enough. You just have to get through the implicit situation of utilizing typically tag resources and sort of coming to an agreement of like, yes, I should break here, yes, I should push block here, amongst other decisions.
See, on a personal level, it feels like when I play duos, it's like you kind of get a feel for these things.
Right, yeah. I think you do, yeah, if you train long enough, I think it's also one of those things where, just in any team sport, right, players train with each other to just build trust that decisions that are being made are in the best interest of everyone here. But here we go, the power of 2x assist already on full display here by Xando. Double tackle, and Jester already trapped into the corner, goes tagging into the Echo, but there's the overhead. Opting to not go the follow-up, because of course that does mean you sacrifice the corner, but just gets that handshake burst bait. Unfortunately not getting a pickup, but still has Jester's back towards the wall.
It's really hard to, it's really hard to get that extension properly. But when, like, it's so fiddly when someone's that high up and you get the burst. It's like, okay, what's the timing here? Especially for a character like Vi that doesn't have the best weight.
Yeah.
Oh, there we see another burst bait.
Yeah, and I think that's something that you typically like to see from Freestyle, right? Because they have that first handshake, and then you might panic, and then they of course have that second handshake to back it up with. But with something of the likes of 2x assist, or basically anything that only has the one handshake.
There it is, the tap S1. I honestly, the more I see it from Vi, I'm like, I might just play Vi.
This is a lot of fun. I mean, just like getting these electrics, and you just hear it go upper, upper. It's
Weird
it hits a
spitting.
part of that brain.
I think this character is like criminally underrated at the moment. Like of the characters that aren't the obvious top 4, I think that she's currently, for me, potential woman, which is strange because she's a relatively simple character. But I think her strengths are becoming more and more apparent, especially in the forming meta. You know, being able to set up these easy handshakes, especially with, I feel like a team like Vi Warwick, you know, all of the fuses, all of the traditional fuses, pardon, do really well. Because you can also do like freestyle to set up the charge vault breaker, which obviously forces standing. There's some really interesting stuff with all of the fuses, so she's like an easy partner to slap into essentially any team. She has a really, really good jabs. And obviously some of the best anti-projectile game as well. And Jester getting absolutely smothered at the moment.
Yeah, the damage on this team is insane. We're going to get that handshake. Warwick bringing back down. Of course, going to get the swap over just barely. Oh, no, getting that level 3 just in time. Is it going to be enough damage to take on over? If it would be, right, that's going to deny the Fury from Jester to try and mount some kind of a comeback, just like so.
Perfect.
Even then, had to deal with 2 full health bar characters on Xander's side.
Wow, phenomenal stuff from Xander. I mean, that little combo optimization at the end there was really, really cute.
Yeah, it's lovely stuff. I think to add on to what can make Vi like a really, really powerful character, that a lot of how I feel that her kit aligns is that she can play really, really strong in call-out situations. Like, if you know how to time some of her footwork follow-ups, especially the charge stuff, you can get some really, really nasty punishes going.
Yeah, at any point in her pressure, it's really hard to find, you know, guaranteed push blocks or burst points, because she can just sway back. Very interesting character.
Yeah, absolutely. Fortunately, getting the small hits there. Oh, okay, overhead connect. Able to bring it back to the corner. Still had that knockdown there to extend it a little further. Trying to push the damage as far as possible with that 2x assist into the Hyper Crater Maker. And it's going to be enough. Just like, my goodness, I think it was about 75% bar. Red just dealt there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Warwick and Vi, if there's one thing that can be said about these characters, that they're not lacking, it's damage. Oh, gets the 6S1 to go through. The time mind just... Never mind. Gets the drop. Let's see what... I'm interested to see what he does for a combo here. Just go straight into level 2.
Yeah, pushing a bit close towards the corner, like keeping that little bit of space from each other. The overhead to tag the Echo Assist there, but it's still now pressure time on the side from Jester. Does go for the push block, swapping over into the Vi here. But gets parried for his attempts of trying to use the Rekkas there, and I think that might be a dead Vi, barring any drops here on the side from Jester.
Yeah, you had to say it. You had to say it.
I had to
No
say, 'cause I
punish
like
on the
Xander's
other hand.
team.
Yeah, yeah. Playing favorites. Gotta make Jester drop. Meanwhile, Jester is my homie, so come on, Jester.
See, it evens out. Beautiful throw tech there. Interesting little follow up from.
Ooh, this is bad.
But the Bloodlust is expiring.
already
Has
dead.
One last activation, was hoping to get that follow up, but there is the Fury. He's going to get that run up into level 1. And that is the level 3. That is a dead Warwick. Yes, sir.
There we go. Thank you. I mean, you had to pick up Xander to let this happen.
Commentators give it, commentators take it away.
But Jester getting his name on the board, proving that this match could go either way. That's exactly what you want to see. Nice and competitive as we start off this top 8.
Beautiful timing there, able to tag the Echo here, and just getting the hits on the assist in the back means you can extend for so long. Interesting little handshake set up there. Is going to get that extra bit of damage on the Warwick side. Not seeing the level 1, the S1 super there, but
Oh, kind of hit overhead. Nice.
woohoo! Same
Breaks
side.
back into the corner. Got the air throw. Oh, wow. Nice. Really aggressive option there.
Nice, and that's exactly kind of one of the rare situations we love to see
dropping.
on the side from your opponent hitting your assist instead of you, is that they're trapped in the recovery or the active frames even, and you're in a position that you can actually hit them out of it.
Oh, no. Getting caught on the happy birthday. We do have infinite meter here as well.
Yeah, that is going to be a dead Warwick. Thankfully, dying before the level 2 cancel would come out there, but I think this also works to Jester's favor here, to having a lot more meter to work with. But still a little too far, and just slightly whiffs the throw out of range there.
Is that?
Making it Yeah, I like this from Zabo, keeping it nice and simple, but sometimes you might regret it as it may not do enough damage. However,
It's going to be very close. I
yeah,
feel
I
like
have
it's
confidence
dead.
at level 3, it should do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
Duff.
Thank God for that. All right, wow, Xando one round away from putting himself into our winners finals.
Good check on the double Warwick assist there. Don't want to give him free entry, but able to tag with the footwork there, bring it back down to the ground. And that should be the limit strike here for the Oki situation. Quick jab there to try and check an option, but tackle not able to succeed on 4. Does ball breaker into Echo's face and back throwing them into the corner. Does, however, escape and keeps swapping sides around.
Oh, wow, nice. Unfortunately, he drops the combo. Forces the break, though. Still in a really, really solid position at the moment. With absolutely no beautiful use of 2x. That's exactly what you want to see out of this fight 2x.
Of course, trying to get that kill there. Will successfully get it. Down to just the Echo. 0 bar to his name. Immediately just dashes on forward.
Drop.
Didn't quite get the M charge there ready, so no electric. And the throw going to be blown up, but going to keep it nice and simple. Just get that burst break.
Charge fall breaker. Handshake. Yeah. Very cool. Alright, well, Xando looking kind of unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely the strength of the we've mentioned ad nauseum the weaknesses of the likes of Vi and Warwick together, right? It's like neutral problems in general, but as with any sort of character combination, you see people break out the rest of the roster besides the top the four main characters, and they can display their strengths, but I think a lot of it is backed up by the sheer factor that they are just very, very, very capable players, capable of just completely gapping their opponents, finding these opportunities to leverage the strengths of their characters and just deal out insane damage. I think that's usually where these characters find themselves in, the ones that aren't to pick too often, is that for the neutral problems, they make up more than enough for in the damage department.
Yeah, certainly. I am just going to quickly let our losers top 8 know that they can start their matches early, or I'll just grab one of them essentially.
Okay.
I think we'll just stream all of it. Whatever, it's fine.
Might as well.
Screw it. Alright, so next up we're going to be having Yamini versus Kura-ten, and just finishing off that little note that you're talking about the Vi Warwick. But I do feel like, the neutral struggles that you're talking about is exactly why when Maka, my duo, was picking up this team as well, he was a Vi Warwick player initially. I was suggesting the entire time, like, I get it, freestyle and double down, there's a lot of like advantages here. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do, but it's very win more, right? This team needs help in neutral, and they both do pretty well with 2x. So I was suggesting that the entire time, and it looks like Xando has the exact same thought and is making it work, very, very well.
Absolutely. I'm starting to see also the Vi point. The reason for it is just that double tackle from Warwick is far faster than what you could do with the double wall breaker. Vi does appear on the screen, but she has to get that little wind up where in that period of time, you'd rather have your character already fly across the screen to do it twice before your opponent gets wise and just tries to stuff it, so you can get that free entry and then get the pressure started with the Warwick. Because of course, Warwick right in your face is a very, very scary character to have, because he can have some very powerful layer 1 that does lose to some very simple options, but if you're not ready for it or you aren't prepared to deal with it, he can completely blindside you and run you over, because as we said time and again, win more character, and that's going to be that damage.
Alright, we're going to be going into it now. Kura-ten versus Yamini. Kura-ten, another player that I've been speaking to quite a lot, as we've both been trying to make Jinx work, and we were both playing Jinx Ahri in the first batch for a little while. But he's sticking it out with the Yasuo Ahri double down now, which is a team that just does an insane amount of damage. And they both also have really good control in neutral, being one of the better examples of Yasuo doing like JS1 into strike assist is Echo or Ahri. But the fact that this team will kill from any touch, which speaking of, we're seeing a character down in the first 20 seconds of the round.
Yeah, absolutely not able to make anything happen here, and already just getting clipped out, back to the corner you go. I think with how rough this is already going for Kura-ten, this might be one of those where you just simply decide, all right, we're just, I'm going to eat my words. I genuinely believed he was going to let that be a write-off round where it's just like, we hang on to the Fury. and straight save it for a break next round, but now has to make it happen. Does end up
There it
taking
is.
the from Yimini, and big super assist, hold it down.
Told you, JS1 to Ari assist, that's all you need for this team, and I do feel like Yasuo has a really good matchup into both of these characters, so, I can see the Fury burst. But looks like it isn't going to end up mattering, as we should be securing a nice easy kill here.
Yeah, I think...
Looks scary for a second, though. A couple of clean hits coming out from the Yasuo. Forcing the break from Yamini as well means that, the deficit isn't that big.
Certainly, but I think at the same time, the fact that Yimini bursted so early when the Fury came up on the screen meant that he was able to generate a little bit more back, right? Because at the round start, already having slightly more break, but considering how this sequence is already playing out, Kuritan is definitely going to be catching up in that break gauge. Sacrificing health for it, of course, Dow trying to make an entry happen here, but the Ari overshooting slightly. Trying to go for the screen control there, but does end up slipping on through, and that's going to be a wonderful conversion towards the corner. What does Yimini have to try and escape this situation?
Yeah, perfect example of just a simple bread and butter, taking the character all the way to the corner, and now any touch will kill. And there it is.
Yeah, that'll do it. Keep it nice and simple. Level 1, that conversion for that backwards explosion, and Yimini now down to the final character. Has Fury available, does also have a round lead, so could potentially consider to just hang on to this, because Kuritan is coming up on that break there, so chances are you could steal it very quickly like that there.
Fair enough. Not wanting to take any chances here. I am curious though, because now, one more solid hit, and all of a sudden you're down burst, and Blitzcrank still has this available.
Yeah. Oh my god, just this conversion, this damage, Blitzcrank. Good to see you back. Now down to the Ari, of course, very, very mobile in the air, but Blitzcrank can definitely reach to the skies and bring you back down to his level. But just a run on 5M is going to be the exact starter that Yimini is looking for here. So just speed run through both of these characters with the Blitzcrank damage, getting that first game to their name.
Yimini looking so solid at the moment. Interestingly, Kuritan really wanting to make the Jinx work, moving away from Jinx, and now fighting Yimini in bracket. Yimini showing us exactly what can be done with a team that most people, even when Jinx was strong, didn't particularly believe in.
Well, as always, we have the gap factor on the players, but definitely Yimini making a very, very good case for these two combinations with the Fuse to go with it. Now, going into the zoning, sending the Monkey out high, denying a little bit of that air approach opportunity from Kuritan's Ari there, but still does end up entering regardlessly. However, the handshake off of the push block there with the rocket is going to allow the entry there for the Blitzcrank. Good check to deny the pressure. Here's the handshake back, and so far both players are hanging on against each other. No major hits just yet.
So much offense from Kuritan there, but Yimini just making it look like it's an absolute cakewalk to deal with. There it is. Getting a nice little... Oh, okay, there's the freestyle coming in. And there's the command grab. The command grab. Oh, and then there's the air throw, and you're dead. You're out of there. Oh, living. Oh my god, I thought you were dead for sure. The throw scaling coming in.
Still able to finish off the work regardlessly. Down to just a low health. We also with Fury does regionally match there. Panic to escape, but doesn't fully get the conversion going. Unfortunately, looking at the fairy water bait. And it's going to spend the Fury anyways. I do not know about this decision. However, this big 5M starter could definitely make a very good case here for Kuritan's Fury choice there. Down to just the Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx Yasuo was not easy either. Getting the 2-8 chance here, and that's it. That should be dead.
Can he build the gauge though? I mean, most likely. Oh, just shy of it.
We also could have rooted into double super, double level 1. That would have worked. If you throw here, I believe you recover in time.
Let's see.
No! She's off the screen! Where is she? Jinx level 3 still feels so inconsistent in the behavior that, the Jinx does during it. So it's really rough to punish. Even if you lab it out properly, half the time it's like, okay, well, where is the rocket going to be? Where is Jinx going to be? And there we go. Seeing
Also the Jinx's favor.
Yeah, the classic that we've seen quite a few times.
Oh, good patience. The blocks. Look at that 2M. No whip punch there from Kuritan. However, just gets duffed across the screen, moving him back down. And already we can see that Blitzcrank damage doing massive work. Backdashing into the Chompers there. But we're seeing such control from the side of Yimini. Typically not what you expect to see from like a Blitzcrank. It's a grapper. You assume they're doing the approaching here, but really has Kuritan on the back foot and very apprehensive about how to get closer to this behemoth. And
oh, wow. Getting the Eggman grab. No conversion to super there. Surprising.
possibly either an error or hoping to hang on to that meter for maybe a parry. But the run under the jumping attempt there from Kuritan, now going for the zone angle.
No.
But
That's fine. Getting the break, but obviously it doesn't matter if you win the round anyway. Fury Burst being forced out. Yasuo has to get something going. It's just, you know, we're seeing the Fury tick down. You can't just sit there. And that's what you were trying to bait out the entire time. Oh, does it get the punish? She lives.
She lives.
This
away.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like the patience there from Yimini. Don't
low?
overextend just yet, but gets the opening here. However, is without Fury, so this isn't going to be just a dead Blitzcrank yet.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's going to kill, though.
It shouldn't, no. And even if it does, you know, you can't win the game unless you get 2 hits anyway. Nice! Whoa, no conversion off the assist, but it doesn't matter. Gets reset into the strike from Kuritan. And Kuritan fighting for his life right now. Has, you know, the last stand as well as level 3.
Yeah, the Blitzcrank assist able to just
nice.
But the anti-air there, unfortunately not getting a pickup there, but is ready for the follow-up anti-air, and this time it will be a dead Yamini there, down to around a piece for both sides. However, Yamini is still on that set point there.
Alright, there we go. We're going to see the beam again, which is like the default answer, but the problem is that you don't get much reward from doing it, and now you don't have meter for parry, so it's going to be rough to play around.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good so long as you can maintain control of your opponent here, and so far, I don't think there has been much that Yimini is looking to parry, and in general, we haven't seen the parry come out all too often in their game plan, regardlessly.
Oh, nice! The Claptrap actually ended up hitting the Ahri assist, breaking the, you know, kind of default bread and butter neutral structure of jump S1, cool assist.
Yeah. Dressing just spinning all around, deploying in the monkeys. Now, just playing it nice and slow, keeping Ahri at bay, because unlike the Yasuo character, she does have to make a little bit more. She does have very slippery air movement, but of course Jinx can put objects in those areas to deny that approach option. Big duff there. We are going to see the Fury. Not going to be baited out, and there is still a chance here, but it's a lot of work on the side from Kuritan. Those are 2 very healthy characters on Yimini's side.
This is really, really interesting right now. I mean, Kuritan being put on the back foot, and it's, yeah, throwing random super, gets hit by the beam. That's going to be it. Yimini looking, honestly, kind of disgustingly, like, in control for every match that we've seen so far. I mean, and it's not just Yimini, right? We've also seen Mystic Smash playing a very, you know, a less conventional Jinx team in Jinx Alawi, which, you know, these teams, the Jinx Alawi, the Jinx Blitzcrank, they were initially dismissed because, you know, essentially they're like 2 characters that are really good at enabling another character. So they didn't seem like the natural fit to go together, but Mystic Smash and Yimini looking ridiculously strong on them right now, so maybe it's worth a revisit. Maybe it's worth, you know, a rethink.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jinx can most definitely assist Blitzcrank in the entry problem, because does have to play it rather slow, has some interesting buttons to kind of control space a little bit or skip the neutral somewhat, but to get access to some of the really big starters, and the highlight point of why we end up playing something like Blitzcrank is to get something like a 5M starter that just blows up your opponent's health bar. And these Jinx assists and the chompers and the symbol monkey are really, really wonderful things. And of course, when it's Jinx's time to actually play, you also saw the likes of using, if I'm not mistaken, 6S2 from Blitzcrank to spin there on the handshake just to control a lot of space, as the ground is now off limits, or going for the air S2, saying now the air is off limits.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the team's always really interesting. The first team that I was planning on playing was Jinx Rank, because there was so many interesting things that you could do with the handshakes and like the sandwich setups. I felt like Jinx was one of the better users of it, but then it kind of like it panned out that she doesn't have the best mix-up from the sandwich, but the amount of output that you can do with the team is ridiculous. And as we were seeing there from Yimini, if you're just willing to play this like slow, deliberate neutral in a game that it's pretty hard to do that, especially with like Teemo Handshake Super or Echo 2X. But if you can make it work, there might be something there.
Yeah, most certainly, most certainly. I think there's it ties back to our initial conversation about like the big 4 characters, is that the game very much still in its early infancy. It's like what, two months, not even, since early access, and of course, being the nature of a highly competitive scene esports, the big support that Riot's already putting out there, especially monetary support, right, has a lot of players just jump onto what has been proven to work, what is already strong. But certainly there is a lot of room to explore for different combinations, right? Players really investing into characters, not because of the function suiting them, but just the overall appeal of the style, maybe the play styles. So it's like, I can really cook here and figure something out altogether. And hopefully that will bear fruit, right? It's the same as duos. Hopefully the vision that a lot of players are seeing in this way of playing will pan out, and we're going to have a very bright 2xKO future.
I mean, speaking of as well, our next match is going to be Full Metal Fury versus Habaduba. Two, players that we're familiar seeing, like, in a lot of events. They've been signing up all the time. They're being very vocal as well. But Full Metal Fury playing the Blitzcrank Warwick these days, and I've been cooked by him in ranked a couple of times. But it's a really interesting team. Because, again, characters that I think conventionally, people wouldn't pair them together. But also haven't seen that much representation on a wider stage, so it's going to be a really fun match to watch as we see Habaduba on the Arivai, rocking that freestyle, because you can make use of the Arivai freestyle to get exactly that, the charge vault breaker, to set up a force standing mix up, where she can do her funny overhead overhead low mix ups.
Absolutely here, but unfortunately, Full Metal Fury are going to be losing out on that neutral situation. A beautiful punish there by Habaduba is going to set up a bit of damage though, the break. Now, back to both players playing it nice and slow. This is Blitzcrank, and this time, unlike with the previous match, we don't have a Jinx to send us projectiles to give ourselves some free entry. Now, trying to survive this Vi pressure, has a lot of assists, looking for any sort of answer here, but faces in the wrong direction as Habaduba just barely able to handshake away before the Vi can get punished.
Oh, good for the anti-air assist instead. Very risky. Almost got happy birthday for it. Alright, keeping it nice and simple. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Trying to spice it up.
Got maybe a little too spicy, but it worked out getting the get up attack bait there. And that's just down to Full Metal Fury's Blitzcrank. Immediately getting a hard call down with the anti-air there. But I think that's a very finicky one to get the Fader Maker off of the air throw.
Oh, nice. Wow. Gets the hit with the JS1.
Yeah, low enough to actually... Yeah, sorry, it hit low enough that it didn't end up bouncing them, so we're able to get more of a larger extension going. But here comes the punish from Habaduba, and that is level 3 for the finish. But you were saying something about Steam?
So the thing is about Blitzcrank Warwick is that the team has like very restricted neutral, but then also kind of a hard time on defense, as neither of them have the 6-frame jab.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, this is a team where you're just gonna have to gap. But Full Metal Fury, he's consistently making good placements in these tournaments, so it should be a lot of fun to see. If he manages to get some things going, seeing exactly what that looks like. I have seen some ridiculous combos. Well, I've been on the receiving end of some ridiculous combos.
I think also in general, we talk about like the main 3 and the potential of a lot of other characters, which has its little unique factor that these characters are unexplored, as well as the combinations. So a lot of paper players will be practiced and will see.
Oh my god!
The double parry, okay, and getting
if it doesn't work, just do it again.
Why not? Ooh!
Call it mix. Got that sandwich mix. Unfortunately, falling out. We're going to see the exact same situation as before, but this time Blitzcrank has more resources and a Warwick assist in the back. Oh wow, that's cute. See what I mean?
Yeah, I'll be seeing a lot more of that later.
What are we watching?
Players understanding more of these hard attack situations. Oh wow, beautiful bait, but that's gonna be the burst. But we're just sending all kinds of options, just a Hail Mary for it. I respect Full Metal Fury is on just the hind legs here, around down, a lot of damage already dealt to his characters. Might as well bust out.
Is back.
Just go so crazy here.
The health has been completely swung as well, with so much great health being on the line for both of these, bigger bodied characters with higher health pools. And there we go, that's gonna be a kill. 6S1, the Bloodlust coming in. Great success from Full Metal there. Not a single interaction there wasn't like, it all felt very forced, if you know what I mean. It wasn't like these, super well-structured situations, but he adapted so well. And again, the amount of output from any hit that Full Metal Fury is managing to squeeze out here really sold that round, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Full Metal Fury was just completely content to ball out. I think you heard a little bit of what you said earlier, where it's like, hey man, if I have to hold this block situation against these characters with superior jabs, I'm going to die. I might as well just go crazy.
Okay, getting a good amount of damage onto Ari, not getting punished with the second wrecker. And now we're back to the very slow, deliberate neutral that you're going to have with this team. Oh, the fight JS1 doesn't manage to get the conversion. That was a really weird hit, which, you know, you do see that with Warwick in general. You see quite a few, like, weird hits that you're not necessarily going to be ready to convert or just drop out. And there it is again, the use of the parry from this Vi.
Ooh, I'm surprised to not see the super there to punish a little bit further. I guess really prioritizing the Oki that comes out of it, but unfortunately eating a level 3 here is going to get that Bloodlust gauge filled up and a lot of damage dealt onto Vi. Doesn't work out.
Oh, doesn't cross up. I thought for a second there was a chance that he would go to the other side, but there we go, seeing the raw tag. I really do think that, in general, raw tag is like a really underexplored option. Not that people aren't doing it, just that I think it's kind of messed up in this game. Like, you can fit it in combos, you can fit it in neutral, a lot more than we're seeing at the moment. Oh, the Vi getting killed, but, you know, a player versus player handshake there, as they both kill off their characters.
Absolutely. I mean, to add on to the unexplored potential of raw handshakes, right? I'm definitely seeing a lot more on socials where players are exploring these hits that leave the opponent stunned for so very long that you can indeed get these handshakes going. And in the case of Warwick, right, being able to get that OTG pickup of his to swap sides as well as push them a little bit.
Okay.
Ooh, I think he thought he might have gotten punished.
I think it's level 3. That's dead.
Yeah,
that's dead for sure. Oh no. Just the neutral Fury Burst straight into the level 3 on the jump in. Full Metal Fury taking no prisoners and putting himself in the front seat. And our first matchup loses top 8.
I mean, you can't forget the absolutely clutch parry that he did on the Vi super assist there, because most certainly Habaduba was hoping for that super to do either a significant amount of chip damage or even potentially kill, because that rock, it does steal
so
rounds.
Alright, we're going to get the super conversion all the way to the corner, get the limit break Oki. Oh, interesting. We saw that earlier from Zando as well, just parrying and immediately trying to take the turn, but...
Yep. Just playing it slow. Oh, Vault Breaker getting the entry there, not opting to go for a mix-up, giving Full Metal Fury an opportunity to react, but just able to stuff the approach. Neutral Problems rearing its head once again, and that is Blitzcrank versus two very healthy opponents there. Ari now leveraging some of these longer normals, able to hit Full Metal Fury on the approach now. Habaduba extension off of the super, put him into the corner.
That would have been pretty cool. Get scooped for the trouble though. Nice, simple pressure.
Step on over to the other side, handshake. Go block in the mix, go for the push block here. Want to create a little bit of space, but the 5M able to tag your jump out and just keep it very simple there.
Yeah, as long as you don't scale it too much, just get the puff ball confirm, and then there was, you know, so much room for confirming there as well, like, you know, extending it with the assist and that.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice. Punishing the empty Foxfire dash there. You have to cancel those, otherwise, you know, there's quite a lot of recovery.
What I do also like from Full Metal Fury is he does like to prioritize the stand confirm with Warwick, right? You do have that level, that 3H and the 2S1 follow-up you could always go for, but instead, seeing like, oh, I hit the opponent standing, I can do charge to 2S1.
Oh my lord! Ooh. Throwing the parry this time. And this looks like it's successfully baited, yeah. I'm not sure about the parry. I mean, it does make the punish easier, but obviously it does scale it quite a lot, so...
I think the way you get pushed out, especially on Blitzcrank, is going to limit what you can get going there, but that doesn't seem to be restraining Full Metal Fury here, as we do see the level 3 come out. Bloodlust
from a parry, by the way.
Yeah, from a parry. Not going to be quite killed, so that might be the scaling at play here, but that still this way to have a do with a parry, nevertheless.
Ah, dead to the... And managing to catch the Ari, forces the Fury break. And gets the scoop. That's dead.
Yeah, that will do it. I mean, wait, you have enough meter. Of course,
you have 3 bars.
It's on the Blitzcrank, though.
Yeah, you can't really access it. I forgot we already used the freestyle. Okay, yeah, just the empty jump low. How's it going, Kanura? How you doing, man? Nah, immediate to us, too. Get that Fox out of the air.
Enough of that. Ooh, trying to play the game a little bit there, but the handshake is going to create a little bit of a hectic situation now. Full Metal Fury back towards the corner. You're going to go for the hard tag option here. Exactly. The hard tag exploration from all these characters.
I mean, that is some exploration. I haven't seen that before.
I think it was very. I think I saw that published today on socials that you can use the via S2 to be able to get a hard tag going. Full Metal Fury does not care. So like, you know what, this situation is too hectic. I'm just gonna super see what happens. And baits out the get up attack to S1. Very, very good at just getting you high enough to not get scooped up by it and getting that beautiful M follow-up punish.
This is so cool.
Absolutely. Just look at the damage to go with it as well.
Blood as well. Got the pop.
Style and function.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, with a scoop. And he goes, you go for the burst there. Says, no, none of that. Get the Warwick in the back there. Let him recover a little bit. But just patiently waiting, getting the scoop. Fury is available for Habaduba. So damage can definitely be acquired there. Oh, unfortunately, no electric.
I don't know. You just spent the freestyle as well. Yeah, you're going to be locked out of some of your defensive options for a little while. There's the Ahri last stand again. One of the best last stands in the game. Getting caught low, and that should be a kill. We have 3 bars, so if we want to spend a lot, we definitely can, but... Yeah, absolutely. And it was definitely going to be a hard combo to kill off of without.
I think Full Metal Fury there was looking to benefit from jump blocking the last stand, Ahri, to instead recover quicker on the ground and then get some punish going, but end up getting counter hit anyways. But there it is, the 6S1. Trying to go for the Fury bait there. We do it again, and this time we let the Fury rip.
That's dead.
Big confirm.
Really good stuff from Habaduba. Staying nice and calm. Because that could easily have been a loss at multiple stages, feels like.
Absolutely. Especially with the nature of Vi, right? Like with Ahri, you at least have the ability to play in the air, play a little coy, utilize some of your longer range normals to dance around these 2 characters. But Vi, no, she just wants to get in your face at the end of the day. So, a bit tricky, but does end up making it work in the end. And that's some really good footsies coming out here from Habaduba right now.
I mean, the one thing that I will say in Full Metal's, team's defense is that when you have this Warwick on point and you have the Blitzcrank back assist, it is very hard to do Ahri's air stuff. As obviously 2S2 is an amazing anti-air, and Blitzcrank 40 covers a nice section in front where 2S2 usually wouldn't as well. So we are seeing a much more grounded style coming out from Habaduba, but this, we might be seeing the process of an adaptation, right now, as we're seeing Habaduba immediately taking a very big lead.
Yeah, and just going for the simple call out there on the approach option. Are we going to see the level 3 here?
Sick.
Yep.
Might as well. Nice and simple. I'm high-key inspired right now. I've been thinking of swapping out the Warwick for another character in general, but I might have to look into Ahri Vi. Especially the Charge Vault Breaker setting up, easy mix for Ahri pad. Does seem like a team that's kind of made for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can definitely leverage the Charge Vault Breaker from the standing mix you can get off of it, in the end, it's something worth exploring into. And of course, Ahri can fix up some of the neutral issues that these 2 characters have. At least the fact that she can traverse the air very nicely, as well as and just can set up some really annoying projectile situations that one has to deal with.
Tari again, Habaduba getting phenomenal use out of it, especially against this Blitzcrank, which is a very scary character to try and parry in general.
Yeah, I think Habaduba is starting to catch on that Full Metal Fury kind of doesn't really care too much about what they could do on Wake Up. It's really just a high gamble style of like, if I can get a really good starter here, I will kill them, but you just play it slow for full screen, so like, what can you do? I don't see no 2x assists, you can't cover this full screen situation.
Oh, okay. Wow, getting in the corner as well, so that's going to be... Oh, it drops! I thought that was the corner, but I think it was just Vi, like, the Vi assist being on the screen, like, stopping the camera from going any further instead.
Right. Yeah, I think that is something that I hear some mixed opinions about, is character, or like the assist's lingering presence on the screen where it makes it that the camera can't shift, or more annoyingly is when they end up body blocking you. I think it's the one thing they didn't have to carry over from League of Legends was the minion block.
Yeah, I mean, especially on the camera, I just don't think there's much of an alternative, right? That's kind of just how tag games have to work for the most part. But it does feel like the characters are a little bit heavy at the moment when they're body blocking. So maybe they could make it so that they, are a little bit easier to shift. But with that said, our next match that we're going to be seeing is Moss1 for Moss versus Agu Bagu. So the run-back of players that we saw earlier on stream are going to be our next Losers Top 8 match.
So yeah, Agu Bagu neatly traversing through the loser's side after being heartbreakingly sent so early down by the unfortunate... was it an error, or was it just a low-key oopsie of having to face off Zando in round 2?
Hey, but, I got mixed, Challenge mixed my shit, and Zando mixed my shit by signing up last minute,
How could he? Why wouldn't he be on time?
Alright, well, with that said, though, we have 26 codes still left to claim, so if you haven't done that yet, be sure to hop into the chat, type !Matcherino, and, just claim these codes. I know that we've got, let's have a look, we've got, 17 people, not that many at the moment, but I know at least some of you won't have claimed your codes yet, and if you're feeling especially generous, feel free to drop a little bit of extra money into this top 8, as we still have some phenomenal matches coming up. Zando versus Yamini in winners finals, Kuritem versus Habaduba in losers quarters, and then the winner of this match is going to be going up against Jester.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have to really remember what these what characters they're playing. It goes by so fast, and I think it's just an interesting thing where people are like, oh my god, only like a handful of characters. What are we at? 11 characters, but just the amount of the volume of combinations you have with the fuses, it's effectively each their own character. So there's a lot to keep track of here, as we're going to be seeing the Ahri Blitzcrank double down from Moss and Agu Bagu's double down Yasuo Teemo there, and already we're starting to see the strength of these two combinations. Half health vaporized from Moss, and the break is not even ready yet. And there's the mix-up.
The falling J2 hate. Very slimy. And at the moment, we're just seeing, very textbook Yasuo Teemo double down.
Yep.
Zando earlier showed us, a pretty good example of how to deal, especially with the round start. You calling your own assist and making it so that the Teemo isn't hitting your point character. Sacrifices have to be made in the face of Teemo double down.
Certainly. At least until we can deploy enough tweets that Riot pays attention to the state of Teemo and releases us from this torment. But down to just the Ahri here. No chance of Fury going to be activated here, as now we're just deploying the big minefield anti-air and put him into the poison, and there is the falling J2H.
Lord alive, we are seeing, exactly what you'd expect out of this team, which, not to discredit Agu Bagu, this is obviously a very well-structured game plan right now with, if we're managing to take down a player of the caliber of Moss, in a very convincing fashion like that, it's because your game plan is effective.
Right. Absolutely. Just like that, trying to escape the mushroom, but down you go, right? Denying one option of the screen is so powerful, because you can just put opponent in a very limited response situation, and we can see the zoning coming out into the chip damage. Just
diabolical. Diabolical.
It's so annoying there. Just look at that now with the Blitzcrank having to make across the screen sub out. And the worst part is, the designers knew with this Teemo voice line where he says, good luck. Dropping that shroom.
Oh, nice anti-air. And we've seen before, this could be really big damage. You get the Oki here. It's 50-50. Both options were going to kill, but nah, it's just being nice and patient. Wasn't scared of the command grab. Gets the push block, punishes the whiff normal. And Agu Bagu, very dominant first round.
The craziest thing about that last sequence is that there's literally nothing that Moss could do. All they could hope for was that Agu Bagu slightly messes up, gets a little too close, so he could get the Fury off. But hey, I mean, if it works, maybe we need to talk about not having one bar at the round start. How about that?
Yeah, I mean I think that's the easiest way to try and combat the double down handshake. If you want to retain that, you really need to make it so that you don't start with that 1 meter. Even if it's just like a specific nerf to double down. I think that would be completely welcomed, especially because I feel like there's just an abundance of meter in the game at the moment as it stands anyway. So it would be, but then if you don't start the round, round of a meter, you can be put into some pretty fucked up situations without parry. But maybe we have to see what that's like. We're still in early access. No better time to try it than now.
Absolutely, and I think it's an interesting question of like maybe there's too many mechanics in the game that does parry need to be the response to certain situations? Can there instead be other answers to stuff that isn't just you must parry, but have meter or die?
There we go. Getting the blowpipe again, and now back to putting down all the mushrooms. Oh, okay. Gotta say, Moss walking the Teemo down. Gets caught low though, unfortunately. Looked promising for just a mere moment, but now we're back in Teemo's hell.
Yeah, Teemo zone. I mean, this happens, right? You just lost lane to Teemo. He has the Andres now. You just accidentally walk into his room and just like, why is half my health? Come on,
No punish on the tag launch.
We'll put a little top lane, man. Come on. Oh, good blocks in the mix, but unfortunately getting throw crushed there. Agubagu is now going to be losing that Yasuo and that 3-bar as well, but still going to be useful for that last stand situation. Trying to go for that hard call out and possibly Teemo jumping, but there's a Shroom covering for Teemo himself. However, no pickup doesn't mean he has to go back into the mix to go into level 3, and it's going to catch the mushrooms. Stop that. Cut it out.
Very risky as well, given how close the win wall is. Managing to catch Teemo. Got the bounce again. Unfortunately drops it, but that would have been a phenomenal conversion. We're seeing a lot of bounces actually connecting overhead at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point, Agubagu, either he makes a miracle comeback, but at the very least, he's looking for... it's going to get thrown out, but he was looking to build up these badges, right? Especially deploying as many shrooms as possible, not looking to really do much else. As you know, they stick around, so you got that long calm, but here it is, the beauty of it all. The handshake, tag, into the mix-up, trying to push block away, but you're only push blocking Teemo, who's already at full screen.
I mean, I've got to say that I, appreciate the fact that there's some synergy going on here between the 2xKO spectator bug, where, it glitches you in a couple of seconds in, and Teemo Yasuo putting you in a frame zero mix-up. So sometimes we just tune in, and the character's already being hit.
Yeah, we just skip the pleasantries, right? We don't need to see this ready, round start, goal.
We know what's going on.
we know how this goes down. Alright. In the walk in there, the mix-up, jump, trying to jump to escape, but does get clipped out, however, no conversion. Back to zoning we go. Teemo now having the Shroom badge, doesn't quite get the pick up there off of the stray Shroom hit there. Gonna go burst, trying to create a little bit of space here. Looking for the zoning potential, and has the 2 badges that most players are really looking for on Teemo.
Really patient neutral from both players, just playing around their assists. You might not like it, but this is what optimal team gameplay looks like.
Absolutely.
Oh, hard tag into the back throw.
For the break here, down. Let Ahri rest off screen for a bit, but there is no great health for it to recover. Flying up. This is omnidirectional mix-up as well. Like,
such a hard character to hate, but man, right, put all of their effort into making me hate this character.
I mean, they're just like, he's hated in League. Gotta bring it over here. This is the League of Legends fighting game.
We've got the level 3. Hey, I mean, I don't know. I used to coach Collegiate League, and I always felt like Teemo was really underexplored, especially like during some of the later seasons. He had some really interesting utility, but everyone, just loves to hate Teemo.
You're gonna get me talking about like League of Legends stuff here, where it's totally off topic. So we'll save that for another time, as Moss is landing a really solid sequence here already. Possibly going to be taking off this Yasuo from the board, leaving it just down to the... That's a good one. That's a good
Jesus.
One. Oh, no.
That was so lucky. Alright, we're getting the streams going again, and there we go. That's going to be dead.
Good luck. Still, though, able to maintain the break here for the set point round of Agubagu. And Agubagu not too far off from his own break, but immediately we're just going back to the zoning style. A rare instance of deciding to not go for the handshake super, but instead we're going to go throw for throw. Still, empty jump low. And that's the break out there from Moss.
2 badges already on deck as well. Then we can see the air stall for the second time. Managing to connect, but no convert. And there it is. You might not like it, but this is what optimal 2xKO gameplay looks like.
Love our big radial anti-airs there. Going into that level 1, double down into the Shroom, pushing as much damage as possible. It shouldn't quite be a dead...
Wow, cool.
Yeah, wow, that corner carry. My goodness. Limit Strike, of course, giving you that cinematic blowback there to push them close to the corner, but basically from coast to coast, damn.
And this is going to be a pretty hard comeback from Moss, but the Karak Command Throw is a decent way to get it started.
Absolutely.
And there's the Shroom. Oh, unfortunate. Counter Blitzcrank, pull this one back. Oh, good start.
Good start for it. Yeah. but unfortunately has to go through the break first, and now you need to get yourself another cool hit like that, but at the other side, denying you this portion. Oh, hold up, command grab here. Level 1. Out of range for the kill.
Oh, unfortunate. Mos getting sent out of the bracket by Agu Bagu. You know, who a lot of people would have it in their favorite for, you know, coming up into these, you know, later rounds in the first place. But that's such an unfortunate way for it to go down.
Yeah, truly. I mean, it was a massive struggle there for Moss to try and close the screen, especially when left to only the Blitzcrank to mount this comeback, where you have to somehow navigate your way through this mushroom minefield that Teemo can just deploy, where you do have some buttons. I think a while back I saw Blitzcrank desperately trying to go for the 1L there just to poke the finger at the object of annoyance, but it's just, you know, that's one shroom. You cut off the one head of the Hydra, 2 more show up.
Yeah, certainly. And I've just realized why, like, this entire stream, I've been really confused as to why, like, I'm getting some encoding messages. I just took a look at the settings, and since moving to Windows 11, my OBS appears to have set me to stream in, like, 2K. So, that'll be it.
That will do it. Shout out to Windows 11, I guess. Shout out to the EOS of Windows 10.
How many, to execute, you know, how many times we're going to mix up this CO tonight. But regardless, our next matchup is going to be one that I'm really looking forward to watching. Honestly, we have Kuritan versus Habaduba, 2 players playing Ahri. Ahri is currently my favorite character, you know. They took Jinx out back, did unspeakable things to her. So now Ahri's my girl. So I'm very interested to see how both of these players approach it. As I do feel like both of these teams, you know, we have the very structured, like, established version of RA that we're seeing at the moment quite a bit, the Yasuo RA Double Down, versus a team that I haven't seen as much of, but I do think has quite a lot of potential in this freestyle via RA. So seeing how they both approach this matchup should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the depth that's available in this game, because going into it, I mean, I could say that inevitably, right, they delivered on their promise, the way they were talking about how it's going to be a quick game to pick up, right? Here's the controllers, here's the buttons, you can mash, it will work. Pulse combo on if you want to do a little more. But just the combinations alone of these characters, right? Who are the 2 you're picking? What's the fuse that follows with it? And then the different little situations you can lab out, combo extensions, mix-ups. There's just this insane depth that can come from even a bit of simplicity, and it's all based around how you build the foundations.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Like, so many people like to bring up and harp on when they're trying to, you know, give this game a little bit of shade. That we don't have that many characters, but the reality is there are so many different combinations of these characters already, and you know, with all of these different fuses, if we, you know, every time we add another character, if we end up adding more fuses in the future, for example, the breadth of this game widens so much. I mean, just look at Teemo and Warwick. I mean, Teemo especially has completely shaped them, you know, shaken the meta up, and you know, we're seeing a very different game from what we were seeing before. There were other changes as well, but I do feel like the biggest one was adding Teemo.
Yeah, certainly, like, was prior dominated by, like, Alawi was really big in the conversation, but now, where's she gone? Alawi missing. Has anyone seen Alawi around these days? Oh my goodness. Look at this. Freestyle, being able to get these interesting conversions, especially, like, when you get a very interesting hit that leads to a knockdown, with the OTG assist, being able to get these very, very crazy pickups from traditionally situations that not a lot of characters can really do anything from, is just a very, very strong argument for this character.
Yeah, we're seeing some very, very good gameplay from both of these players at the moment. Very Ahri forward, as you kind of expect with these teams. It's kind of like you use Ahri to control neutral, and then you use the other character to, you know, win more. But in this case, we're seeing the Vi getting a solid... Oh, and then we've seen that! So cute! I wasn't expecting it again.
Yeah, it's just that Vi S2 is set up for a wonderful situation to be able to get those hard tags out where you typically are gated from not being able to tag into other supers because you're not running double down. You can still set up these like situations being on another fuse.
Vi coming in, keeping the pressure going. Didn't get the charge Vault Breaker. I think they were intending to, you know, hold it down whilst they did the handshake, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that is the case, but it doesn't matter because you are getting absolutely starred on that drop. Might end up costing you, though, 6 meters on deck. You're not even going to have to spend any to get the kill here.
Yeah,
6 meters
right.
for a Vi. It's doable.
It's doable for Kuroten. Does have to get past this Vi though.
Oh.
Get the cross up.
Wait, the Yasuo last stand pulls out of the corner. That's so cheap.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, lovely. Not today. Not against Vi. Any other character, you might have been okay. Not Vi.
We love cease and desist. Point and click R. I'm doomed. See ya. Hold him down for a little bit. Going for the handshake, back to the Ahri instead, using the Vi to just make sure that Kuroten is escorted safely down to the ground without getting too wise of trying anything. The break is available, or nearly available for both sides, as they're both trying to just play in the sky, looking for an option here to get an opening with this Ahri,
wow,
but
what,
just a
that
slip
connected?
under.
That was, if he, if Habaduba managed to convert that properly, that would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
But now we're
that's
just back to neutral.
absolutely. I mean, that's a core strength of Vi being able to get that that S1 follow-up of the footwork to cross up. So what would be a same-sided situation you have to deal with suddenly becomes that you have to a reaction check to swap the guard in time.
Nice parry again. Oh, getting the convert off of it with the Ahri assist. Yeah, it's very scaled, so it doesn't surprise me that you can't get much there, but still.
Yeah, to put
You
the
know,
Ahri on
convert
the
it into a
field.
positive situation anyway.
Oh,
Buried it, Ahri.
beautiful one.
Habaduba looking really solid right now.
Absolutely, Kuroten just down to the Yasuo, and the Fury is a ways away, but that's going to be a big starter. However, Habaduba is not interested to see any potential comeback. Still, though, to jump
Gets the
in,
JH.
successful.
So much meter available, but you're gonna have to spend one at most. You still have that last stand, and honestly, this is very, very winnable for Yasuo now. There it is. Can you hold the mix?
Good.
Blocks the low. Blocks
Yeah,
the stands 2H as well. Oh my
Oh
god,
my
double
too
last
much happening
stand.
on the screen. Ooh, trading. Habaduba does have this life lead, so if they keep these trades up into one another, it's going to end in Habaduba's favor, but you can see Kuroten merging.
wow.
Like, oh no! 2H. I think Habaduba was hoping to see a jump cancel off of the stance, but instead going for the side swap there. Gonna go into a level 1, into the level 2, and that
3.
is gonna be Kuroten with a round.
Alright, well, phenomenal stuff from Kuroten. Securing that comeback, which honestly, at first I thought wasn't going to be possible, especially without that Fury Burst available. But Kuroten proving me wrong.
Running down, trying to escort Kuroten towards the corner now, but ends up putting themselves in that position. That's going to be the break to try and get a do-over in that sense now. Does find an opening, going to get a little bit of damage. Misses the medium charge, unfortunately. Not going to get the throw there. Kuroten with a chance. Tries to go for the mix-up, but good blocks, and Habaduba is going to survive for the time being. Getting a punish there. The break is available, but these electrics are not coming together right now.
Good block. Oh. Interesting. Keeping the pressure going. Doesn't punish the no cancel on the flash fire there. And now you're the one cornered. It's looking like Habaduba again. Just resetting back to neutral. It's very back and forth gameplay right now, but now you are in the happy birthday. No burst to your name, and this is Ahri, so they're both probably very close to dead.
Yeah, the fact
1, 2.
yeah, 3. Oh
No,
okay.
drops the third one, but okay, manages to get the Protec into the Fury Burst. Habaduba putting everything on the line right now, as you will on this match point, but that should be a nice, easy kill. Keeping it nice and wow. Okay, that was a very
That was
belated
still
2XKO.
2XKO. I guess if your assist character dies on the field, it all counts as 2XKO. Oh, okay.
Today we learned.
Today we learned the system is programmed in an interesting way. I mean, I think it's something similar to pentakills, right? Where the pentakill timer is far longer compared to the rest because it's basically as long as another character hasn't respawned from the enemy team. Nice, good handshake, maintaining the corner control. You see Kuroten trying to go for the burst or the break there to put Habaduba in the corner, but does end up slipping away. Now trying to find some anti-air, but barely out of the range from some of these hits there. So Habaduba just slipping on by as slippery as RAO is. Duh.
The freestyle coming in. All of a sudden getting mixed by that JH from Vi. One of the better cross-ups in the game. And that should be just dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Into the Hyper Creator Maker we go. No need for any sort of shenanigans. I mean, the tag system was down anyways for the time being, but Habaduba now down to just the Yasuo here for that first round, already duffing with the Vault Breaker, but there is the throw. Running up, Hyper Creator Maker. Not going to be enough just yet, but still going to keep him out of Fury range for the potential comeback just yet. See Curtin trying to fish for a jump in here to hope and get something going, but of course the longer that Curtin makes this comeback happen, the more break gauge that Habaduba gets rewarded with.
Yeah, so these little things that really do add up. We're seeing just back to back, throw the level 1, try and force this match out as soon as possible.
Habaduba now with a chance to equalize the scoreboard, already starting things off with a command grab here. Ball Hyper Creator Maker into the Hyper Creator Maker there. Push the damage as far as possible. The break is available here for Curtin, and we're going to see it let it be ripped out there. Trying to control the space a little bit. The handshake to approach on forward. Does get a quick tag, but doesn't opt super here. Instead, flying around looking for the next opportunity to get the combo running, but gets anti-aired.
Oh, unfortunate. Tried to do some fancy stuff with the held S2 into the handshake, but drops out. Just using the fire as a projectile to approach behind. Why not?
Become the projectile.
This is going to be a lot of damage, though. I don't think we're going to spend too much resource here, but it is Yasuo Ari, so who knows? Yeah, just opting to go for the Ender into the Oki, and that's a dead character. Don't think you want to spend break here. Yeah, just save it for the Fury Burst instead. And honestly, you know, this is down so much, and you're going to be put into a match point situation after this, that you might just not spend here either. I'm interested to see what Habaduba opts to do.
It could be. I mean, it could also go the other way, where right now Curtin is having a really good time. Will also most likely, okay, not leveraging the level 3 and just the run up 5M. Try something. It might have been the parry, but just a little error on the time. It's going to be forced to hang on to that break here in set point for Curtin.
Habaduba saying, not only am I not going to burst, I'm not going to block either.
How about that? We're just going to mash, see what happens. Maybe you're going to try and bait this this Fury on wake up somewhere.
No, you don't.
Nice and patient. Oh, then mind as I say that, come and it's curse. Habaduba whipping the parry.
Nice footwork there, getting a really cool pickup. Become a little bit simple there. However, we do see going for a handshake because it extended some more, but doesn't quite get the charge ball breaker and ends up blinking on the shootout there as Curtin wins the touch there. The damage to follow.
Yeah, that's a very dead buy. Alright, Habaduba, falling on the back foot, and that does mean that this is set point.
Ooh! Big bait on the throw here. It's going to do some nice damage for Curtin.
Can we build 3? I don't think we can.
I don't think you would want to use 3 just yet. I mean, he could push.
Oh wow, never mind. Just goes back, goes up, misses the throw conversion though. Definitely could have killed there, but doesn't end up mattering anyway. Curtin.
Yeah.
Looked like he was having some trouble at the beginning, but ends up taking a pretty convincing win, all things considered.
Troubled as you may be in the beginning, right? It is fighting games played first to 2, first to 3, right? You do have at least 1 or 2 games to adjust, right? Rebalance yourself against your opponent to try and pay attention to what options are they representing and try to dissect that to find the win through that. But something else that needs dissecting is these codes that we still have remaining. I see 23 on the screen. So if you haven't already claimed the code, please head on over, hit that exclamation mark, Matcherino in the chat, hit that link, hop on over, hit the claim code button, and sign in with a service of your choice, right? You do have socials. We know this. And once you've completed that process, you'll contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. It is free money, and you're supporting these players who are putting on this excellent content for you all for free.
And yeah, we're going to be moving into our, top 6 area at this point. We just had Curtin versus Habaduba. So it looks like we're going to be going down to Jester versus Agubagu, which I'm really looking forward to this match. I mean, Jester is my guy at the moment. Unfortunately, he's abandoned Jinx. He's all in on the freestyle Echo Yasuo, so he is kind of leaning towards being a villain. But, every storyline needs a villain, so it's fine. It's fine.
Just clocking in with the corporate team here. no worries.
Yeah, exactly. Well, genuinely, it's the Nepo Baby team. I'm not looking for friction in my life right now. Riot took away my toys, my Jinx, so now I'm just gonna go straight for the Yasuo Echo, make everyone else's life worse.
Yeah, just they take my toys away. I'm gonna show why they need to take your toys away.
Oh,
now.
wait a second though. But the other team is Yasuo Teemo. There's no good guys here. It's all villains.
It's just Zondo left, I suppose, because
Yeah,
we're getting to that part. We're getting to that part in these type of brackets where the corporate players are starting to bubble up over the fun havers, where they're like, top tier time, things are on the line here, either ego or money, and we can't be caught lacking on either.
I mean, yeah. Luckily, I know all of these players, relatively well, aside from maybe Habaduba and Agubagu. So no matter who is committing war crimes, it's okay. They're doing they're doing it in good faith.
Ethical war crimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best you're gonna get in early access patch 1 to XKL.
That's true. That's true. I do hope they inevitably iron out an identity where they want to have these games go in the final direction. But I think I saw a tweet float by where right now the discussion is heavily around those 4 characters and their how often we see them in these top 8 graphics, where it's kind of similar to what you said, where you much rather have Echo be in the state that he is than the Teemo, for example, where it could very much swing in another direction. And we're gonna go back into the cycle of hatred, right? Illaoi was was the top dog at one point, and everybody was saying like, we need to get Illaoi out of here. We don't want to see
Give me Illaoi
tier list dominated by Illaoi Echo. And she's gone now. But now we replace it with another demon. So again, cut the head of one Hydra to Rapier.
Well, the thing is, though, is that Teemo, in my eyes, just replaced Jinx, right? It was a 1-for-1 swap. So why Illaoi fell off of the map is another question entirely. But there are still players, showing us that Illaoi can have great success. And in that, same breath, Mystic Smash showing us that Jinx and Illaoi, even together, is still a very viable team. So I'm interested to see more people, bringing Illaoi back, because it's only a matter of time before we start seeing the Kraken.
Yeah,
Like a kid Boros can't be held down.
Absolutely, Wrath of Decade Boros is just still a very, very strong situation. But here we are, Jester already a lot of damage being dealt on the Yasuo now, getting called out in the air there. Beautiful air throw by Agubagu, giving up a little bit of damage and sets up. Yeah, try to challenge Teemo right while he's chilling above his little campfire.
Good block so far. Gonna see a little bit of freestyle. No, never mind. Just timing it straight out, and then we're gonna see. Yeah, never mind. Here's the other evil. Good use of the air block there to try and mitigate the mix-up. It's pretty much exactly what you're forced to do. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna, hand over neutral, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm not getting my shit mixed.
Yeah, and potentially as well, right? If your opponent kind of messes up the sequence behind the Teemo assist, you could land on the ground with no recovery frames from the guard there to be able to challenge and escape. But now an unfortunate error there on the side from Jester is likely. No, okay, a drop. I was gonna say it was likely to lose the character there, but
The
does
whiff
end
throw
up.
as well.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy there. So still though, careful.
Oh, whoa.
What's gonna happen here now?
Yeah, I thought so. It's just gonna whiff, but no
yeah.
punish because he needs it.
I mean,
You can't have a
it's got whole
Nekobo baby
3-1.
running into a problem,
Oh, that's true. That's true. You really have to have the really funny hit effect there that like slows down time and whatnot. And then you see
it's
a
a
giant
parry,
radial
and it's an
explosion.
OTG, and it has a strike, and it has no recovery.
All good. Just a little bit of fan fiction character. Don't worry about it.
I'm fairly sure that he could also rewind, in the first patch, but luckily that's gone now, so.
Yeah, that sounds awful already on paper, but here we go. The classic. Good throw tech, but that puts you right back here in the blender. Does end up blocking most of the mix-ups here. And you can see Agubagu, I think, doing a bit too much, but finds the air-to-air win there. Push a little bit of damage here on the Echo. The break is available for Jester. I wonder when they're going to feel inclined to use it.
Nice, and Teemo, one of the better characters at converting those for a solo. Every strength that you can say for Teemo used to be very true for Jinx as well. Marlin Pie is my op now, dude. Marlin Pie is my op. I used to be a massive Marlin Pie stan, but after Teemo, I don't know. I've got a Teemo and Yasuo. I've got to do some thinking.
I've been saying we need to never let Marlin Pie touch another game again. This guy, we saw the damage he did in Marvel 3, finding out the attack infinites. We really let him design 2 characters, not 1, 2.
Genuinely, just can't trust Eno players anymore.
No, yeah. I'd be looking different at Viper, in Doctor Doom players. Is like, might do my best Dokes impression when I see them.
Oh, here we go. The cool little mix-up. I mean, say what you will, they definitely cooked with this character. They just made him a little bit less, like, it's clear that he has evil intent for, anyone who's playing against him. But do we really have to give him, like, the power to back that up as well?
Wait until they drop the little Devil Tebow skin, but
I was so surprised we didn't.
It'd be too on the nose. It'd be too on the nose, like...
You gotta save it for a later battle pass, You gotta sell it somehow.
It's true, like, they released the character in the current state where it's like, wow, I really hate Tebow. It's like, guess what? We have a skin to exactly represent that. Found it. Here we go.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my god, good luck, good luck, good luck.
Alright, well, it's hard to feel any real remorse here as Jester, repping the freestyle. Like I was saying earlier, the 2xKO spectator bug into the frame 0 handshake tag from the Tebow. Yeah. Well, like, we have seen a couple of different approaches. Xander was leveraging, the assist to try and put, the Warwick in between. Whereas it looks like Jester's more or less going for the jump up forwards into the air throw to make it so that, you can mitigate the mix-up, but also you're keeping yourself safe from the throw. So there is some interesting decisions being, put on show right now, but it just shows that players have really had to try and refine that situation to make it a little easier to deal with.
And we see here now Agubago really on the back foot, losing the demonic entity itself there, just down to the Yasuo, and the Fury Gauge is nowhere near, immediately gets smited back down to the ground, gets caught pressing something along with it. The 3 bar is going to be building up here for Jester. I think, yeah, just going to end up spending it. If it might not kill, it'll at least put Agubago in a very, very scary situation. Just one touch to finish things off with, and
Man, that's
no,
skills.
it will just find the kill. Okay.
I had a feeling it might, but I, not willing to put myself on the line for that one.
I'll take the hit on that one.
There's the air throw. This time, because we've seen already that Jester's answer to that situation with the, handshake tag has been to jump forwards to try and mitigate that mix-up. So Agubago adapting, not going for it immediately. Now you get to keep the meter.
Ooh. Beautiful anti-air there. Just a big radial cleave there. First in the air comes down to punish you. That is...
Oh, the handshake, the immediate, assist handshake back throw is something that we've seen a few times now from Agubago, but, it's undeniably working out quite well.
Yeah, I think out of your options, handshake is certainly one of the faster ones to your disposal, especially, considering Warwick's overhead, it's typically safe on block, but the throw will do the trick. Oh, setting up the hell zone,
fuck? This is my event. I'm allowed to say what I want. What the hell did I just watch?
I mean, there's beautiful things of those cinematic supers is where people
nice
double down
angle.
into it. We see some effective use with Teemo deploying the shrooms, but I think the most powerful one, of course, has been Mr. E leveraging it to just teabag on you for a while. Uncontested.
Yeah, I feel like that situation could have been optimized more, though. I think Lazarus and E, Bossman Chicken needed to step it up a little bit. But, it is what it is. Now we're seeing a new era where we're just making a mushroom farm. And then, we're genuinely just playing Bloons Tower Defense whilst my Yasuo throws you.
Yasuo just sitting there, playing a little bit of leapfrog, hop, 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 trying to push it towards the corner. However, executional error is going to switch the situation around there. Now, Jester running the combo game here, pushing damage as far as possible for that break
Really
cage
cool combo.
available there for Agubago. Ooh! A little too impatient there.
If that burst got baited, though, that would have been curtains. So very, very risky.
Watch out.
Oh my lord.
Oh my god, 2 in the pickup as well. Look for the hard burst bait there, but Jester not biting is going to be rewarded for those troubles. Now, just down to the full health Teemo. The badge is not developed just yet, and the break is still available for Jester. Gets the jump in here with the Echo, and that's going to be a good grip of damage. Are we going to be able to see a OS set up, or are we going for some other option? That's one Time Winder. That's 2 Time Winders, but he
I
drops
could have had the
out.
second, unfortunate. Well, is it? I don't know. Who do we root for here?
Yesence. I mean, yes. I guess the Teemo is the arch enemy, so not Teemo.
But Teemo, Echo, they're taking the heat off of Yasuo, and Yasuo players are trying their absolute best to leverage that. But you know, we have some real soldiers like Supernoon not allowing people to do that. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Yasuo is definitely still the enemy.
Yeah, do not forget. I mean, there's definitely some very problem situations with Echo, my time, the OSs to his disposal, making him a very difficult character to interact with on Wake Up. And Teemo similarly just such good shutdown in neutral. And it's also having insane mix. Deploying the Duke Horn there. It is Spooky Month after all.
There comes the Wind Wall, just runs across the entire screen, gets the throw. Oh my lord, what are we doing? We got hops.
We got hops. Remember, we're looking for something. This isn't CSGO. I don't know if they have V-hops in Valorant there, but trying to find the next entry, get to anti-air, but it is the background character deploying all these shrooms. But Jester doesn't seem to care the tornado, but it's not going to be enough, and he gets clipped out by a shroom. Try to go for the anti-air, but he can just float. He can float.
What will win, Yasuo or the inevitable shroom?
Oh, okay. Yasuo dying in the back does mean that Jester can keep the pressure running a little bit, trying to camp underneath the timeline. Running away says like, no, you're not going to get no cheeky side swap on me, and that is going to be Jester now on set point here.
I mean, at the very least, Jester showing us some really cool combos and some interesting solutions to the problems. Never mind.
Okay, very lucky able to escape there, but that's so tragic.
Here we go. Nice amount of damage. Gets a ton of corner carry straight back into the Yasuo. Oh, never mind.
Oh! Nerves might be starting to add up here a bit, but Jester in a very good spot here. Has to get past this Teemo stuff, but of course Yasuo has a very, very long sword to deal with it.
Trying to poke it.
Clock run a bit, I think, because, like, you know, sure, he's recovering a lot of gray health on Yasuo, but just the amount of health you have compared to it all. If that timer hits 0, you win.
Okay, assist down. Uses the push block. Oh, the counter hit. This is going to be a dead Yasuo. Oh, okay, never mind, but didn't feel like it.
We'll do it again later. Just give him one last chance here. How gracious.
You know, if there's a character that... I'm going to be really interested to see if Jester just tries to run out the clock here. I mean, it is definitely correct.
Yeah, we saw the funny clip on Twitter where Teemo just didn't do this part at least, right? Because you could definitely, as Agobago, stand full screen and just keep deploying shrooms and hope your opponent approaches you, but there is space you are creating with this. The shroom does inch closer, and that is going to be chip damage they do end up holding. And like that, you can already see that he finds that first opening, has a few more hits on his badges, just deploy out the super shrooms now. He's going to have to handshake into the Echo to generate a bit of that gray health back.
Good lord, how many shrooms have we got?
Not enough.
Oh, the anti-air. Okay, never mind. All of a sudden, this is anyone's game. 25 seconds left on the clock. Jester, you know, this is a little bit close on the HP. So you have to try and get something going. Oh, wow, nice. Gets the low. Go straight into the super, trying to get that health lead before the burst can come out. Now, you're just going to play defensive.
Just 10
don't
seconds
get hit.
Clock, right? Just deploy the wind wall now. Just dashes over. This is really smart, right? Just making sure to go to the other side. We see him running down, looking for anything, but even like, yeah. Okay, that's a very.
That was still so close. Oh, Jester, okay, showing us a good example of what people like Lefner have been saying, which is, like, at the end of the day, these Teemo players, if they're not in a situation where they, you know, if they're put into a situation, pardon, where they have to actually try and get the win there, it's very hard to get something going with Teemo if the other players are willing to play defensive. Like, there were situations where people were losing 1v2 to Teemo in the, you know, in IB's first Impact event, which had, you know, over 400 players. Yeah. And Leffen was just like, yeah, but why are you getting hit by solo Teemo? And Jester shows us exactly what that looks like. Running out the clock from, felt like 90 seconds, you know, it was 1v2 against that Teemo, so.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, also in the sense, what Agobago did very correctly on the solo Teemo was utilize the space that's being generated by your opponent, consistently backing away because they do not want to deal with the shrooms. Because inevitably you're going to run out of screen space where you are going to get into a situation that you might be able to deploy one of those Teemo mix-ups, right? That instant overhead as an example, or catch your opponent trying to go for something a little bit more hectic to escape. We did see that Jester ended up falling into an anti-air of Agobago that put a little bit more of a variable in the situation where what looked to be a really solid lead for Jester to run away with the game. Now came kind of a question mark came attached to it where it's like, oh, if he Furies now and actually gets another good hit, he can then fully zone out and the onus is going to be on Jester to approach. But that didn't come to pass. Jester showing some really, really good patience and decision making to navigate around that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to be getting into our winners finals now. It's still not going to be first to 3 because of how the previous events have ran, but this one honestly was a small enough event that if we end up with smaller, you know, bracket sizes like this again in the future, I will just run first to 3 top 3. You know,
Okay.
good old fashioned. But right now this is still first to 2. It's going to be Xando versus Yamini, 2 players that have seemed completely untouchable so far. But you know, I love Xando, and I want Rekka to come back so I can have some 2v2 events. But I love seeing Yamini cook on the Jinx Blitzcrank.
It's definitely going to be a difficult one to support, but that makes it easier for us as
Yeah,
commentators.
see
We
you
gotta be impartial, but Yamini already
Hell
setting
no.
up a very...
This is my event. Come on, Yamini.
Ooh! From the top rope there. Gonna set up the mix-up, gonna get that M follow-up from the Demon Flip now, pushing some really good damage. Gonna take the plus frames, rolling on forward, and he's ready with that overhead to clip him out. Let's get duffed in the face. And Rocket to create a little bit of space here, but gets the whiff punish off of the whiff special there into the S1 super. Pushing the damage here, looking for the kill, finds it. Just so close to Fury as well, so this could be a very scary situation for Jigs, especially against a character who can run at you, projectile invuln-like, but the 2x assist is instead going to close the distance.
Thank you so much to Redus and Saltman League for the follow. If you're joining us now, we're in our winners finals, which is our first of 2. It's going to be Yamini versus Xando, 2 players from EMEA. You know, shout outs to the 2xKO netcode being phenomenal. So we can even allow, you know, like NA players if we tested their connection and everyone's happy. But yeah, so far, Xando looking, you know, equally as unstoppable as we've seen before. Like, Yamini has been making other players, you know, look fairly easy. But
Yeah.
Xando taking a very dominant first round.
Ooh, unfortunate little error there on the parry attempt, but the 2x assist is going to close distance there. Good block on the overhead. Unfortunately, no throw punish, just opting to take the pressure instead there, but catching Xando out on these few neutral situations, nevertheless, hasn't been fully in control just yet. The parry there, I think, that's a very interesting parry, just trying to call out some kind of option, but nevertheless,
Nice, what a combo.
Ooh. Oh my god. Wait.
Yeah,
That was
not
gonna be
quite
that Jinx,
dead,
that's
but you might as well be. No
yeah, chip
parry.
damage now. That
Yikes.
is grimy. That is going to be full breaker into the S1 super there. Hold the ship damage, buddy. You didn't parry the first hit, sayonara, but Yamini
We've seen
able
Yamini
to
win
find
these. Okay. We've seen
If you
it.
get the Fury right, you can get a lot of gray health back, so maybe time will tell.
Very
Currently,
best
good
coming up
start.
shortly for Xando, but honestly, you're putting a 50-50 here, and your life is on the line. Gets the guess
Aw.
correct, and now... Oh! Okay, what a convert! Commentator's curse, but it does not matter. Xando closing out the first match with the 2S2 anti-air.
Yeah, very, very interesting there from
What a scramble.
Xando to go for that option. I mean, what I haven't seen from Xando too much is the flip combos that Warwick has, but nevertheless, right, still able to get really, really effective routings, and just like that, catching out the damage while, yeah, of course, Blitzcrank is going to drop out, but going to push the damage on Jinx as much as possible before the break can finally be activated.
Oh,
Blood Fury,
no,
it's still
the
tagged
air
both characters.
Oh, unfortunate. I mean, air break, again, like I was saying before, it does feel like the behavior is, like, pretty inconsistent, and we're seeing it there, firsthand. That looks so brutal.
There we go. Interesting little cross up to go with it. We'll be pushing that good old Blitzcrank damage, but Xando, of course, shouldn't be too pressed because it's just going to be that one
That's
character,
so
no
much
Fury
damage.
to his name, so that gray health is going to find no recovery anytime soon, but does find the mash out there.
Nice.
Ooh. Oh!
No! Okay,
Oh,
okay, it's fine,
Ooh,
it's fine, it's fine. Was definitely just mashing back plus parry there, so managed to get 4H. But it's fine, it's fine. Well, one thing that I will say is that Yamini has been doing a phenomenal job with those baits for the crank. Like 2 for 2 at the moment, but unfortunately Xando on set point already, making this look like light work, even though that last round looked really, really promising for Yamini.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. They're gonna get the solo corner combo here straight into the S2 Super. Not gonna be the crazy amount of Oki, but definitely prioritizing this Bloodlust state there. Just the overhead flinging right above the rocket attempt. Can he get the kill before the break? Oh, no bait.
But Blitzcrank immediately getting hit. So this situation is still pretty vile. We're getting a lot of meter, getting the limit strike Oki. We've been seeing a lot of guys opting for lately. Is that dead? I mean, oh no, might get the drop, but level 3 was on board. Having to break immediately to stop that happy birthday. But that's going to be Blitzcrank dead and Jinx solo in this situation. It's going to be rough.
The Bloodlust Warwick as well, how fast he can, especially like the kind of projectiles that Jinx sends out. Warwick just slips right underneath it and just catches you. You can already see, right, going for the air rocket there to try and hopefully catch the 6S1. Hitting a bit of damage on Vi, but patience.
No, okay. What? Unfortunate drop, but doesn't matter. Gets the throw all the way to the corner. You get him for the air reset here. Warwick does have some pretty good air options, especially near that corner. Oh.
Back from the Vi, try to play it slow. Jumps away from the throw attempt from Yemeni, and that is going to be the 2-0 finish there from Zando.
I mean, again, if I was familiar with how quickly this tournament was going to end up going, definitely would have made these first to 3 because, wow, what a strong showing from Zando. Taking Yemeni out, who, again, previously, up until this point, was looking pretty untouchable. Took him out really, very quickly.
Yeah, I think definitely what Yemeni had riding to his favor was the fact that the composition he was running was a little bit unorthodox, but Zando definitely very familiar with the individual tools that both characters represented. Like, you could see the parries on the rockets and immediately challenging, which caught Yemeni off guard a little bit, because I assume they're very comfortable with, like, oh yeah, rocket comes out, this is my time to press the buttons, run this blitzcrank pressure, but that getting whisked away from them so quickly end up just giving a lot of favorable situations over to Zando.
Alright, and if you haven't yet, for everyone who just joined us from that raid, thank you so much again to Redus and the whole Saltmine crew. Hope you had a good event. I'm not sure if it was a World Warrior. I think Set and Reset were on a World Warrior. Not 100% sure. Either way. Please, if you haven't yet, make sure to type !Matcherino into the chat and check out our Matcherino. We still have some phenomenal players in the bracket at this point. It's a smaller bracket this time around. But regardless, you know, these players deserve all the support that they can get. We still have 22 codes left to claim. Just takes 2 clicks. Sign into your account, 2 clicks, and you're done. The remaining players on our loser side of the bracket, we're going to be seeing Kuriten versus Jester up next, and the winner of that will face off against Yemeni, who we just saw Zando beat in order to qualify to our grand finals. Remember as well that this is a seasonal event, so anyone who plays top 16, which is wow, the entire bracket aside from one person. Let's go find the victim. Okay, Freeze Bomb, I'm sorry, you did not get any points, but everyone else, you know, congratulations, you got yourself on the board. So yeah, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit up the Matcherino and show it a little bit of love, because these players deserve all of it. And I hope to see you guys not next week, because I'll be at IGM, but the week after, and I'll have sign-ups posted as soon as possible. But we're going to get into our losers finals now. Sounds like they're all ready to go for us, you know, ahead of schedule. Yep. So
they're really moving at a breakneck pace. You mentioned earlier, like, oh, I can trust in these players, and indeed they're very from the names I can recognize, they're seasoned online warriors in these brackets, and they're moving along very quickly.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
don't even have to match call them, I think. Yeah, they're just here.
Yeah, they're just going. Yeah, anxious to get it going, but luckily, I have caught up.
Oh, good. There we go. Kuriten versus Jester now. See the double down Ari Yasuo versus the freestyle Echo Yasuo.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, the same side mix.
No, you don't.
Forcing the break nice and early. Obviously, Ari Yasuo there has very good neutral control. So, getting the happy birthday on the IADJH, forces the break immediately back from Jester.
Oh!
Wow. The air throw into the time winder. Very cool.
Yeah, that's very good. Unfortunately, not able to get a full extension from there, but still captured our hearts, so well played to that. Able to get the punish now.
Kuriten. Just like these uncancelled Foxfire dashes.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously, there's a lot of recovery if you ever have that blocked.
I think it's more so like he's trying to attempt a risky mix there, so
Yeah, but didn't have the
looking
assist to
to-
back it up, you know? That's the main issue.
Yeah, but sometimes you should take a bold risk, right? Like, what are the times that your opponent decides to like just attempt the anti-air and you just dive kick on their head and it's like, alright, combo time. Other times you play against a really patient player like Curtin who's like, I've seen this option come out from Jester. I know what's coming. I'll get the punish for free. No worries.
Yeah, we haven't seen them connect that often, is the thing. But Kuriten showing us, exactly what to look for with this team. Ari lands a touch, you'll convert it into a death from the double down tag. But the level 3 from Jester, this is still so... Oh, wow. It's not only so winnable, now that Yasuo is dead, this is looking very much in his favor. Gets the air throw, easy convert.
Echo was just there kind of for cheerleading purposes, I suppose, because it was all that Yasuo in the end. Beautiful. Ooh, yeah. Again, I think it was the second time that Curtin got caught out in a happy birthday that he had to burst from.
Well, now... Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Breaking Kuriten's ankles. Jester taking him to the corner. That's going to be so much damage.
Icing on the cake is the way that Echo's laughing through all of it.
Okay, this is the second time that I've said, Jester was going to corner carry there, but instead does the tag launcher and then drops the combo. So, thanks for that, Jester. Very nice.
Gotta look out for the TO/commentator, making that look as goofy as possible. Good challenge there from Kuriten. It's going to be a nice little conversion here. Hopefully not dropping this because it's going to be very important to get as much damage on the table as possible, as well as running this Oki because we're just down to this last character and Fury is a ways away before you can start getting some really big hits.
Gets the low. Obviously, Ari last stand, one of the best ones in the game. Anything that just locks down the opponent is going to be perfect for Yasuo. And even though... Oh, okay, gets the air throw. One more mix. Nice, really good job from Kuriten minimizing that, the risk of that situation just by jumping. And now, honestly, Yasuo v Yasuo, both have strong last stands. This could go either way. Fury Burst just around the corner. Oh, does it get the conversion? Wake up attack ends up going through. And this is going to be, oh wow, that around level 3, that's going to be blocked. And there's the punish. Jester securing the first match. That still could have went either way all the way up until the end. Jesus.
Truly. I mean, also Curtin had that Fury coming up, so with a little bit more space, maybe if Fury even activated, he could make that comeback happen, but unfortunately, relying on the Hail Mary level 3 here. We see the Ari being able to get handshaked in, good block on the mix, but the low, however, no conversion still, though, gets that unique double jump from Echo to get the pickup, but Jester lacking on the conversions, giving up too many opportunities over to Curtin, who is now showing you how to do one of these conversions.
Oh, okay, wow. Fair enough. Again, usually you want to back that up with an assist, but Kuriten, maybe recognizing, like you said, that Jester isn't quite ready for these situations. So, managing to pull it off, but break being forced by Kuriten to not get, put into this corner by Jester. Ooh. But the anti-air coming through. It's, more than anything, it feels like Kuriten is having a hard time getting to the ground, Yasuo, Ari. Ari is a character that wants to be in the air a lot, and then Yasuo tends to do JS1 into the assist score. And Jester proving time and time again that he's still ready for that.
And just like that, he's proving that he's ready to take this Yasuo off the board. It's going to be left to just the Ari, whereas there's so much mean. I mean, both characters effectively have their 3, just need that one last hit to take it over. So Kuriten has to be careful indeed, because at some point you might see also that, Jester might just be matching that S1 S2. Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, the tornado.
Yeah, because the tornado came out, the wind wall got sent away. Otherwise, that would have been very interesting use of meter. But Jester putting himself onto set point in these winners losers semifinals, pardon.
Yeah. Kuriten very close to getting that break gauge online. We see him backing away, but just gets immediately laser beamed from the sky. Gonna go into the Echo, drop that Time Winder, roll on over, Mega Time Winder,
so
launcher. Yeah, and pushing towards the end of the combo. I mean, I guess it's very smart to not hold the Oki situation, but the damage was mostly dealt already. Nevertheless, here we see Kuriten, a little bit of an extension. Not as much damage as we saw come out from Jester, but still, it all counts, it all adds up.
Both players, slowing down the pace a little bit, waiting for their assists to come back up, and now that they are... Oh, manages to connect with the 5S1 to the handshake, okay. And now this is an Ari Oki situation coming in. Kind of just have to hold it.
So that break is coming up from Jester, so... Ooh, tries to parry, but it's not meant to be. Drops the combo, however, so another chance. Blocks the mix on that empty jump low and doesn't jump out, so that is an unfortunate option chosen there by Kuriten. It's now going to be punished by Jester. Solo damage. Oh my goodness.
Let's see, can Jester finish this one off? No, again, same drop at the same place. But I hit the lab.
Gotta hit the lab, but at least he's got these baits down. Is gonna bait out the get up attack there. Is gonna take away the Yasuo. The Fury is coming up for Ahri. As Kuritan is just down to that last character. This is the last chance available. Whiffs the throw, and that's gonna be a decent punish. Has level 3 on the table, so might be able to
6 meters
take
even.
this
And
Yasuo.
the Fury Burst. This is a very scary situation because you get put into this Oki situation, then the corner gets stolen with the last stand potentially. Oh, it's dead? Yeah, not quite. I didn't
no,
think
Pixel! Oh, the
but
chip damage
gets the
will do
force
trick.
chip out. Wow. And now you have that last stand that you always have to worry about. Yasuo last stand taking the corner out, blocks the cross up. Good awareness from Jester. Trying to close this one out with more offense from the Puffball Super. Last stand getting blocked. Last stand again. We're going to see the Fury Burst off of the connect. But one hit will be enough from either player to close this one out.
I didn't have the meter to get that final conversion there for the kill, so one last chance here for Jester.
Oh my god.
Does find the 2M, uses the Fury dash there, but is not able to get the conversion. 9 seconds on the clock, runs underneath. That's the Fury burst there. Gonna send out the super there to stall for time, tries to jump on through, looking for the last stand, but
Gets
it is
the
the
air
air throw
throw.
from Kuritan.
What an insane way to close out that round with 2 seconds left on the clock. Both players in Fury.
I respect it from Jester, right? I saw how low the health was, and I could end it right here, right now. Could have, of course, taken a safer approach and hang on to that burst, hang on to that break for the next round. But here we are, as Jester gets a beautiful run under it, getting a nice punish on the jump in. It's going to be dealing a heck of a lot of damage. As Kuritan is just slowly seeing that break gauge build up. Limit Strike to get a bit of meteor going. The Oki, wall, or Tornado, and that is the impatience from Kuritan going to be the downfall. Just left. Only character left is now just the Ahri.
We've seen Ahri make these comebacks before though, but this time you're going to have to do it without Fury Burst and with at least half of your health gone into an Oki situation.
Level 3 is available here for Jester, but we're going to go for the Limit Strike instead. Opting to get that last touch. That's going to be the whiff on the throw. It immediately just catching on to level 3. Not willing to extend the combo any further. Let's not make this an issue of technical or the break gauge. Increasing there for Kuritan. That is going to be the 2-0 finish for Jester.
Jester, I mean, I'm really impressed because again, it was only like last week that he was still playing the Echo Jinx, but he's looking really, really solid on this Yasuo, Yasuo Echo Freestyle, a team that we see quite often, but, it's not always that you see someone, quite as optimal. We did see a couple of drops from Jester in, the same situation almost every time, but once that gets ironed out, the rest of the, the combos in general are doing a lot of damage. They're always setting up good Oki. I feel like the resource management is where you want it to be. So, really good showing from Kuritan in this event in general, but Jester looking really strong. And now all we have is Xando, Yamini, and Jester left as we get into our losers finals.
Yeah, so... Oh, okay. Actually, it's a little interesting that you ran the winners finals now, because that means that, well, in Jester's case, it's going to be a back-to-back extravaganza there to try and make this, try to get into the grand finals to face off against Xando. But the party may also end because, let's see, they haven't faced against each other, but like we've seen before, Yamini has been really taking names with that Jinx Blitzcrank was freestyle, yeah, where it's kind of a interesting combination that not too many players seem to be familiar with, as well as in general these are characters that are kind of underrepresented.
Yeah, certainly
I think
together at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, on their own and together. We saw from Xando's side that he was familiar with the individual components of the characters to deal with their tooling, but still some of the crazier stuff that Yamini had was able to find a few hits here and there. But now it's up to Jester to see if he can survive this. Just going into the Beam Super.
I mean, that's what you got to do, It's relatively low reward, but it helps you establish yourself, and it's kind of your main / only option with this team into that Yasuo. You're just going to take what you can get. And I think it's interesting that the last match was Jester versus Kuritan. Both players, that I've spoken to a decent amount, who used to be playing Jinx. And now, in the losers finals, we're seeing Yamini, one of the few players that's still playing Jinx in EU. So, obviously we have Mystic Smash in the chat as well. Another player playing an unorthodox, people like to brush off the double support cores of Jinx Blitz and Jinx allowing. But, we're seeing Yamini and Mystic Smash making it work. So it's kind of like we've got all of the all of the Jinx players, in a room together.
They're thinking this through, it's like, how do we really make this character work now? First, Yemeni hands Jester back towards the wall, narrowly avoiding that throw tag, or sorry, the assist throw from Yemeni there, but Jester is in a world of hurt right now. That level 1 super is going to be enough to kill, and it's just down to the Echo here in this round.
I mean, Jester and Kuritin came up with the same answer on what you do for Jinx, and that's apparently drop them for Yasuo. So, I don't approve, but seems to be the conventional wisdom.
See how much they might regret their options. Yemeni shows them the light here. Although it is mostly Blitzcrank doing a lot of damage, as that should be Echo also off the table. First round comfortably going Yemeni's way.
Yeah, I mean, Yemeni, again, it's so weird, because this team in general, it doesn't have a lot of neutral threat, you know, especially versus Yasuo as far as I'm concerned, but, you know, so consistently, we're just seeing Yemeni play defensively with Blitzcrank and do the Rocket Punch, and it lands as an anti-air conversion, and he gets the full combo, and then you get to get Blitzcrank's game started from it.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of the Rocket Punch, what's been really a highlight from Yemeni utilizing that Rocket Punch has been to just slap away the Time Winder, and I think it's also been the case of a timing that the opponent uses the Time Winder to cover their approach, where they end up falling into the fist.
Oh wow, just again! No way, no way. Are we just gonna see the handshake, or are we gonna get a setup? No, we're doing the setup instead. Makes sense.
We didn't have the meter for it, because you need the handshake to go into the...
You can hard tag there, right?
Yeah, but it didn't have the... Could, but I don't think he gets anything without the meter to super, unless he's just like willing to hang out below, just wait for his opponent to fall down. So
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I will answer you.
Anti-air or the air to where command throw. Ooh, nice, okay. Gets hit by the claptrap in the back. You've heard of Yasuo back shots now. You know, we've got the monkey.
There we go. Finds the Fury Burst in the end there, Dao. Getting a little bit of that gray health back. Trying to find an opening, especially with Jinx that low. Yeah, okay, gonna be a smart swap to go into the Blitzcrank, who's a little bit more healthy, and let Jinx recover off screen.
Wow,
but just like that, the devious cross up, using that spin to go to the other side just as a rocket hits as well is that's some foul work.
I mean, Yemeni again with a really unconventional playstyle and team, but doing so well, getting hit with the 2x KO spectator mix up as we get into our next match. You know, Yemeni already getting the hit. We're gonna set up Monkey Oki. Oh, gets back thrown. Unfortunate.
Yeah, missed the timing a little bit, so I don't think Jester was stood up ready yet to be thrown, but beautiful handshake. Gonna get the bait on the break there, however, no conversion. Look at the Rocket Punch once again, but Jester is all gas, no breaks, right in the face of Yemeni. Says, we are done with this robot. We are going to kill him on the next touch, most likely.
Really fun conversion from Jester. We've seen a couple of times there. The Oki gets a little bit messed up, but it does not end up mattering. Jinx luckily managing to avoid, you know, any further damage there on that happy birthday. But it doesn't look like it's going to end up mattering. There is no burst. We have a ton of meter. Jester. Finding a way to drop the combo anyway. The commentator curse is so strong with Jester. You know, we're connected. We had a nice long chat about Jinx Echo. And now all of a sudden, whenever I say his name, he has to drop a combo. You've got to use this power wisely.
My suggestion would be to mute the stream. Beautiful air throw there, meeting Yemeni in the sky, backing away, letting the Rockets do their thing for the time being. Anti-air found on the Blitzcrank, but the handshake does mean that Jinx, the priority target, does also find the entry there. The burst for the break from Yemeni, and then the command grab to follow. Is instead going to lead to a lot of damage against the Echo. Quick 2M, Rocket Punch.
We've seen that alone from Yemeni, just, you know, doing the Wrecking Ball, going Miley Cyrus for a moment and backing it up with the Jinx assist. He's getting so much success from that.
Ooh, okay, does find an opening here though, so that's going to be a good grip of damage on the Jinx especially.
Oh,
she's still there. Oh, wait,
oh no. Yeah, Jinx, not like this.
I think, right, if Jester gets the
dead,
kill here, that's a lot of damage. And,
still had the full heat as well, so had the armored command grab ready. And now one more touch from either player. Manages to successfully hit the...
Oh, dear.
But drops!
Okay.
Never mind, it's still possible. We're still in this. And there's the last stand again.
Conversion.
Force 50-50, and you're in Fury! So,
the chip damage there. Beautiful stuff. So that does put Yemeni on set point. Jester is now very close to, or further along to get the break ready to go. Both players playing it
There you go,
slow, but
sing it
using that
again.
same setup. Just push the damage a little bit, says why not? I don't immediately need this one bar on Jinx.
Yeah, especially if all I'm doing is looking at a Yasuo win ball from the other side of the screen.
Might as well.
Oh, nice. Gets in. No happy birthday, but there's still going to be a lot of damage. As we've seen before, and both of these characters get good Oki, so interested to see who's going to finish this combo. There we go. It's going to be the Echo. Covering absolutely everything. Clips low on the layer 15 mix-up.
Love to see unforeseeable mix-ups here as Jester is trying to push the damage as far as possible, looking for this Jinx kill, and is going to find it as it's just down to the Blitzcrank. But we have seen this Blitzcrank comeback work from Yemeni, especially with the Fury getting so close to filled up there. There's going to be a lot of damage that this character can dish out. However, going to get opened up by the mix-up, the handshake to retain corner position here, as Jester is pushing the hurt on Yemeni right now.
Okay, immediately spending that Fury, putting it all on the line here. Unfortunately, getting hit, so you want to keep this combo as long as possible to time out that Fury as much as possible, because I don't think it can kill.
No, so that's why we're going to see the double time winder here as we kind of run the timer as much as possible. But the air throw there, catching him off the air tech situation. And Jester is going to put one on the board. It is anyone's game to go face off against Zondo in Grand Finals.
Good lord. I mean, again, very aggressive from both of these players. We saw a more reserved approach from Yemeni in the first match, but the second one was definitely all in. And there we go, we're seeing it again. This time with the claptrap connecting as well. That is a decent amount of damage. And now, yeah, just... Wow. Using the freestyle and you just, you know, holding himself up there. Like I said before, really good handshake buffering, keeping the threat up so that Jinx can have the space in order to set up even against this Yasuo character, you know, a character that is typically quite hard to find that space. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
absolutely. Oh, wow, okay. Might have caught, might have blindsided Jester there by able to slip out and actually put himself, put him in the corner there. See a lot of retreating guard trying to escape, finds that air to air, but no conversion just yet. Here comes the mix-up, swaps over to the other side, and there's the handshake to retain corner position. And combo is going to continue, of course, but the meter is running a little low on the side of Jester. He's going to get possibly one time winder, but the way this is looking, yeah.
And what's the mix?
See. With OS.
Oh, nice.
To the
good
mash out.
mash. Okay. Not trying to hold that and wait. Okay, it doesn't go for the conversion. Instead, takes the frames just to set up the monkey. Yeah, nice 2H. Wow.
Reach for the skies. The clock handle going all the way to the top there. So we're going to go to the tag launcher. Now Yasuo on the field to get up attack. Get off of me. As we see Jimmy now trying to close the screen distance a bit. Handshake, but Jester just opting to retreat instead is going to decide to not deal with that, especially with the life lead that he has here.
This is what we call neutral.
Yeah, I've been hit by that beam a bit too much now. I think I will not be pressing much after that. Thank you very much.
But again, we've seen the patience from Jester before, you know, in the matchup against Teemo, where he's more than happy if he has the health lead to just set up the one more and wait, which is exactly how you should approach the situation. It's on Jinx to try and get something going, and just when you try to, you know, it's the classic Yasuo JS1, backing it up with the strike assist to cover the ground, and all of a sudden you're in a mix.
Who told you you could interact? Who told you you could have fun there? Yemeni again in a position where he could run the comeback potentially with his Blitzcrank, right? The Fury is coming on the table, but there's 9 seconds on the clock.
Oh my
Even
lord.
the maximum. No, we're still. No, wait. Yemeni! This cannot be the right decision here to get that Fury going so late into the round, right? The clock's going to run out. I think that might have caught him off guard there as he would have hoped for a bit more time. Now you're going to go into set point for Jester with no break gauge.
Really unfortunate, and again, just backing it up, waiting for, you know, being a little bit impatient than we were saying before, not wanting to give him an out with the beam. And now you have to hold, you know, having to hold this Oki offense button, and it's looking like Jester has got, you know, he's adapted well. I was noticing it before that he was trying to anticipate Blitzcrank jumping and doing the Wrecking Ball, but it looks like Jester has like really thoroughly adapted to Yemeni at this point. What's the mix? Nice! Again, the mix is if Yemeni's gonna, you know, respect your mix-up or not.
I think what Yemeni is noticing is actually that Jester is messing up the OS because he's rewinding a bit too early before the time winder comes out. So with that auto time, yeah, with that auto time, he's just like, wait, there's no time winder to cover me from mashing. Let me mash.
Again, connecting with the claptrap as well. I'm going to see the exact same situation again. And Jinx doesn't have any more meter, but it doesn't matter. Catches the windfall attempt with Zap.
towards the Blicky. Now just down to the Echo here. The Fury is coming up here, so we might see that Echo come back.
Oh,
The
dude.
Blitzcrank in the back is not too healthy, so with the amount of damage that he's doing onto
So
Jinx.
much meter as well.
Yeah, there we go, into the effective timeline. This time, the OS working out successfully, gets the raw burst bait to go with it, and just a sliver of health available for Jinx. How can she cope? The super assist is going to come out, get that chip damage going, and Jester finishes it out 2-1 against Yemeni.
Really solid performance from both players. I mean, again, love watching Yemeni play, love watching Kuritan play, love watching Jester play. All of my favorite players in the same room. And again, we have Xando. A couple of slides ago on this slideshow, you would have seen that Xando's event promo, which is Rekka. Hopefully, we get another sign up put up soon, because I'm missing the 2v2 action. But Xando,
Right.
phenomenal player. We have 2 people from EMEA in our top 8, in our top 3, pardon. So really enjoying seeing the representation from people from different games, different scenes in 2xKO. It's what I always love. It's what I loved about Strive at the start. It's what I loved about Dragon Ball at the start. And this game certainly is not letting us down on that front either. Our next matchup is going to be a run back between Jester and Xando. Really looking forward to seeing this one, but Xando is looking kind of unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, so it's going to be a question of is it going to be insanity from Jester's side where I'm going to try the same things and fail regardlessly, or do we have some new technology developed in this short break away from Xando as you were traversing the loser side? It is going to be very interesting because we did see that Jester is capable of handling the bit of the unorthodox team, right, with earlier Yemeni's Blitzcrank Jinx, but now going over to Xando, who's repping the Warwick Vi, right? 2 characters you don't see all too often, at least played at this level. I think Warwick for sure, at least compared to Jinx and Blitzcrank, Warwick and Vi are a little bit more popular, see a little bit more entry. Typically, I think Warwick is covered by Echo, complements him a lot better. But nevertheless, if you can figure out how to deal with the individual characters, then you just have to kind of observe and see what kind of options Xando is leveraging with these two in conjunction with the 2x assist fuse and try to survive that, especially with the Warwick in the back having really fast tackles to just skip the neutral and get right to business.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting partners for Warwick. I do feel like he has a little bit of a usability, like some usability issues, and like he needs a little bit of a QA pass. And obviously being such a big body with without a 6-frame jab, does provide issues. But there are so many interesting teams that you can build for Warwick because he does want quite a lot from his partner, whether it's Echo for neutral neutral support, or the time rider conversions to help him get blood nice and easily, or partners like Ari that are more centered around the freestyle potential for Warwick. Having access to so many quick, kind of unseeable mix-ups.
Right.
Speaking of,
Yeah, just a big bloodlust there, gonna shit out damage right now, just straight into level 3. Yeah,
how have you got that much meter already?
You saw the amount of hits what he's doing, especially at 2S2, right? Just does so many hits, builds so much bloodlust. It's a fantastic normal to be able to link into each other if you can with your assist.
Really good start from Xando so far, but again, no reason to overextend too much, especially with this Warwick Vi. You just want to play nice and slow, play for your assists with the 2x to play neutral for you. But with that said, Warwick does have that 5M. You can say what you want about Warwick's neutral, being relatively committal, but that 5M, any character would love to have that.
Yeah, or that JM, right? Especially when you get into a tech situation, it gets a little bit hectic, and they just come down, big scratch from far away, and he still gets these conversions. Of course, the 5H can be a little bit tricky with being... He does step forward, but not far enough sometimes.
Yeah, especially given how big his mediums are. They can feel a little bit too short. And it's also relatively slow, but are we going to see the RPS super connect? We do. Xando.
We like to ball out a little bit. We like that. Trying to go for the push block here to create a little bit of space. The Echo is on the speed, going to get punished for his troubles, and has the meter to get that S1 super going. Again, Yasuo off the table, just down to the Echo. The Fury gauge is a ways away from being in play here for Jester to get that bonus damage to run that comeback against Xando right now. Push block away, trying to slip on through. The Vi on the screen there, baiting out. Is that a throw attempt?
It seems like, but unfortunately gets the drop, but managing to keep the offense going. No punish on the blocked overhead. And all of a sudden, you know, the situation's getting turned on its head, but with so little HP and Fury as far away as it is, it's going to be very hard for just to find the comeback. But as I say that, you know, the reverse commentator's curse, finding the counter hit overhead on the Protect.
This is a good grip damage as well, and if he can keep up with these OSs, he will be able to most certainly steal the character. Doesn't end up leaving it fully, trying to keep it a little bit safe, but ends up getting anti-air by the 2S2. And that is Zando taking game number 1.
Beautiful stuff from Zando again, looking ridiculously confident. You know, competent in his game plan. Even with the, you know, I'd say that Yasuo Echo is one of the better teams in neutral in general. You know, you don't have the Echo 2X, but regardless, both characters, you know, just being able to leverage the other one's strike assist very well. I'd imagine this being a hard matchup for Warwick via neutral, but Zando's showing exactly how it's done. Nice.
Yeah, and there's the assist to cover for what would be a Jester trying to take his turn back. Grand grab coming out. Good burst, and actually ends up bursting Zando back into the corner, so trapped here for the time being, looking to block out most things. He does indeed push block to get a little bit of space, and there's the RPS again. Just catching the best of your habits, because like that's gonna set up one thing, right? It's like right now you're blocking the L follow-up from footwork into the, and then you're trying to take your turn back off of it. But then it comes to super. So when the time is that comes that you think like, okay, now he's gonna super, I'm gonna respect it. He's like, aha, condition. Now I'm just gonna take my turn off of that again. Super minus frames.
Beautiful stuff so far from Zando again. I mean, the level 1 supers are going to be honest, the they've not been pretty, but that was the ugliest one yet.
Yeah, I like the plan from Zando, right? Let me just come in flying, but the distance saving Jester, able to get the jump cancel off of the 2H hit against the Warwick here. Looking to get the mix-ups, but that JH able to hit from behind just like that. A grip of damage. Can he find the kill?
Nice.
Oh,
Wow.
I like that.
Keeping it nice and simple, going straight into the level 3. Give us a nice long cinematic before we could drop the KO. Zando maintaining his lead in the set so far. And in general in the tournament, I mean, Zando, I mean, I've been talking to him basically since before 2XKO came out. So I am super happy to see him doing so well at the moment.
Yeah, from the performance I've seen him put up on Strive, especially at the highest tier of competition, it does not surprise me that he knows how to put the work in. He needs to become very competent in a game like this. Not only competent, but just a very dominating threat. Able to run under here, get the hit on the Yasuo here. Jester bursting to create a little bit of space. At least try to leverage the current life lead he has with the Vi in the back now. Kind of damaged, and also the Warwick suffering a bit of hurt, trapped in the corner.
Nice convert, manages to you know, get that corner Oki and then gets a happy birthday for his troubles. Should be able to keep it nice and easy. Oh, okay, never mind. It was a break, and Zando opting to spend it there. I think that's quite ballsy.
Maybe a little bit of a limit test. Decided that we could take it to another round, but we could also see how far we can go on a low health situation. Because, of course, the health totals of the characters does alter a lot of decision making that happens in the game.
We're in for a longer set this time as well, so could just be trying to gather as much data as possible. Oh, well.
Oh!
Gets the conversion from the 2M into the S1 Super. And it's going to be Jester putting himself on the board, showing that he is not a walkover. There it is. Beautiful example from Zando. We saw it before. He was very ready for the standard round start from Teemo Yasuo. Well, now he's showing that he's very ready as well for the default round start from Yasuo Echo, where you do the JS1 into the Echo Super. Right. Zando, you know, has his matchup knowledge down.
Good checks. However, he is getting opened up a little bit too freely right now there. That's going to be a lot of damage on the Vi. And how this is looking may even... Wow, killed here. Timewinder 1 into the launch super. Does barely get the breakout there with the pixel health on Vi, prioritizing very deeply, having that 2x assist available there rather than trying to go with the Fury Warwick. It's thrown out to the air, trying to go for the get up attack, but rolls on through, not going to be able to work out, and gets Timewinder. That's going to be a good grip of damage. Jester looking in a really, really strong position right now.
I loved the combo that he opted for earlier to try and kill the Vi before the break came in. Didn't quite end up panning out, but he was ready for the situation afterwards anyway, and look at this health lead. Jester completely turning the set on its head.
Yeah, but still, very, very good timing there from Zando. Is going to get the punish here against the Yasuo. Bring it back down to the ground, play nice and slow. Has to be careful, of course, with the pressure that he's running, because there is that level 3, and he covers it with the Warwick last stand. And now it's going to be a massive cash out. And I think we're just going to see the Hyper Trader Maker. And really, just 2 touches was all that was required. Now, you have the Echo, who's also very close to getting to that level 3. So still, the pressure has not let up yet, but there's the big stuff. Good luck seeing that. And Jester tying up the set.
Dangling hope in front of the, you know, honest low tier, honest mid tier, pardon, Vi Warwick. And then taking it immediately away. No, you have to remember, look at you fighting.
Absolutely, and we're just going to skip right ahead to Zando getting absolutely opened up here. The break is deploying a little earlier here, the ball breaker entry. And this time getting that punish on the overhead. Beautiful stuff, converting into the Time Winder. Going to carry the Warwick all the way into the corner. Might we even see the OS here? No, just going into the launcher.
Nice. Never mind, no convert, but and all of a sudden you're in the corner, no break. And a very positive situation is suddenly looking kind of scary.
Oh wow, what a retreating guard.
Wow.
And the charge heavy, no pickup, unfortunately, but still able to maintain the pressure despite the pushback there.
Nice. I mean, just causing all of so much visual chaos. Obviously, in that situation, the overhead was just, you know, counted as a mid after the handshake. But that catches the best players, even, as we see.
Yeah, it's the visual confusion, but also the fact of, like, the player is primed reacting to the overhead. Like, I'm going to block this, immediately handshaking into low. It's very, very tricky to adjust to that.
Going into the number 1. Yeah, wow. Just, wow. I'm honestly surprised it did that much damage that late into the combo.
Even need the level 2. Wow, a little bit of footsies there, able to get that anti on the overhead, but no conversion. Still though, Zando in a very interesting spot, narrowly avoiding getting punished thanks to the handshake there off the freestyle, getting that double handshake, but blocking the overhead, getting the punish, keeps it nice and simple. Zando hanging on to that Fury gauge, making it the break gauge for the next round here, as Jester is poised to take the lead.
Yeah, for the first time in this set, Jester, you know, coming up in the lead. We're seeing Warwick getting handshaked in, trying to maintain that offense, but now, you know, you just want to play it a little bit slow, wait for your 2x assist. But managing to connect the hit without using the assist. Unfortunately gets the drop there, but it doesn't matter. Keeps it going, keeping this offense. It's going to take them all the way to the corner and probably get the blood pop if it wasn't for the break.
Actually going to play it a little bit slower. Ooh, tornado getting the anti there. Break, doesn't want to see too much what this comeback could look like. Trying to go for the flip out, but you see Jester able to narrowly avoid it, looking to poke out as the Warwick while the Bloodlust gauge is depleting, but that handshake tag is going to deploy Vi in on time to get Jester just off guard as he was trying to retain a bit of control.
And now Echo has regained enough HP that you might be willing to call him in again with a push block or something of that nature, but using the Warwick to pull the camera up so that you can't see the cross through is diabolical.
Yeah, that's a really good piece of mix there, because one of the things I've seen that you could do with the 2x assist, or just, well, Warwick Vi in general, is go for the S2 mash, because as you tag in, right, you can still mash the S2, and the Warwick DP being an S2 as well, you will get the full hits, and you can tag into a late overhead or a low, but now we're just going to go for the Bionic Armor, Pixel Health here, one last chance for Jester to try and make something happen. But I think at this point, you might as well release the controller, because the more you try to burn that comeback, the break gauge is going to be rewarded back to Zando, but nevertheless ending up losing on the literal footsies.
Zando, honestly, the more that I see from this team, the more that I'm convinced that they cover each other's weaknesses very well. Warwick obviously having one of the best anti-assists in the game, which helps to cover up Vi's, you know, most notable weaknesses, that she isn't great at dealing with the air game. And then obviously we're seeing some great mix, some great combos, so maybe the team has a lot to offer.
Replay, getting the punish there, going off for the break there, wants to keep the momentum, but the Crater Maker causing a little bit of confusion there. Jester not able to find the block in time. The overhead keeping it mid though.
Yeah, seeing the lovely example, you know, the very hard to see visual mix up. And we're seeing it again immediately into the low, back to back, but Jester does not block this one. We're going to see a nice combo, again, taking him out of the corner so you can toss him right back in.
Yeah,
interesting.
Take the Oki, the walk down. However, the back throw does mean he's not going to be able to get the kill here.
And unfortunately, okay, there we go.
Yeah, nope.
Oh, and it got Echo! No!
Echo got blasted in the back.
Absolutely no shot. Oh, level 3, okay.
No,
But this is, yeah, it's fine. It already handshake. Like, Zando is so ready for these level. I think this is like 2 for 2 on blocked reversals. Meanwhile, on the other side, we're seeing Zando let, you know, rip super after super after super, and they're all connecting.
has a really, really good sense of timing, and just like that, getting the kill there on the last character, denying Jester the break. Xando now 2-1, poised to finish things off, looking a little bit more comfortable. However, we see that Jester is able to win a lot of neutral situations, catch Xando on a very back foot situation. However, some of these scrambles just end up going too much in Xando's way, and with the damage that these two characters can deploy on their opponent, situations get reversed really, really quickly.
I mean, this round start from Jester, finally managing to connect it. You know, we've seen Xando adapting very well to other players, but we're going to see the burst baited as well. Unfortunately, Jester not able to convert it. It is a little bit awkward for these air break situations. You get that conversion reliably. So, you know, it really does... You know, you can tell when a player has really labbed out that situation and are familiar with their converts. For those more awkward wall breaks.
Again, the visual confusion, using the 2S assist there to drag the camera up, set up for a blinding mix-up to follow when inevitably Warwick decides to descend from the sky. There's going to be the break, while Yasuo is pretty low health, and be sent to the back to recover for a little bit, but the run-up throw attempt is not going to work out. However, a little bit of an execution error does open up an opportunity. The parry is going to whiff. Jester now with a chance to really run some good momentum. Hopefully we're going to see the OS here, because I think he might be apprehensive to letting the Yasuo rear his face for the time being.
Back throw. So many players disrespecting Jester's burrito Woki. We saw earlier that he adapted to that in the match against Xando the first time that he did it. He kind of just waited to try and see a response from Xando. But, you know, Xando regardless... wow, okay, that was interesting.
I think the problem on Jester's part is that when he tries to go for the kebab OS is that he's unfortunately rewinding a bit too early before the time winder actually is active enough. So there's just this window that the opponent can simply do something, mash, throw. But when the time winder is there, they can genuinely not do anything. So that's the window of disrespect that's being put on display right now.
Oh, nice. Gets the happy birthday conversion. Oh, never mind. Yasuo just deciding I've had enough. I'm out of here.
Yeah, unfortunately the charge, the grab there in the air does mean that the secondary character will not be comboed any much further, but that is going to be a dead Echo down to just the Fury Yasuo to stay alive. One last character. Fury is deployed.
You have to spend it immediately if you want to keep yourself alive in this tournament. Unfortunately, you get clipped low. There's 6 bars ready to spend. I'm assuming you're just going to go into level 3.
On it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go into the Vi level 3. Get as much damage as you can on the board. But also, these level 3 animations are nice and long. And the Fury ticks down the entire time. So, not going to have much to play with.
Yep. Stuck at the corner.
Okay,
didn't have the instant time to cover for the wall break.
Good parry!
But it was on the
No, surely! Betrayed! Living on a prayer at the moment. Manages to catch the Vi once more. Gets the wind wall up. And now it's looking incredibly precarious for Jester here. Doing a good job of trying to poke it down nice and slowly. But Xando understanding I don't have to extend. I can just play nice and slow and wait for you to make a mistake.
Yeah. Oh.
Gets to the chip out situation. Okay, well, an orthodox way to end it out, but Xando still looking unstoppable at the moment as he claims the victory in Hearts of Blazing Season 1, Episode 2. What a set.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. It was a really good showing where Jester, of course, had some really good moments, especially winning out a lot of neutral situations, but just when it came to scrambles, Xando always coming out on top, and the reward where these characters, especially on counter hit, can just deal so much damage and just... I don't think, unfortunately, Jester couldn't quite keep up with the damage raise, and especially when he really needed to make these comebacks happen on Echo, which included just having the burrito OS, or sorry, the kebab OS tied ready on or prepared to a T. He couldn't quite get the timing right for the time winder to be able to actually check the wake up options from his opponent.
Congratulations again to Xando, and I'd just like to take a moment before we head on over to whoever we're going to raid to say, 22 codes left. Let's see, how many we've got in here? We've got 72 viewers, and we have, a solid 22 codes remaining. So if you want to do your part, if you're feeling extra generous and you want to put money directly into Xando's pocket, head over to the Match Arena using our code and claim, 22 of them. 22 of them. That's, a little bit of change. So we can maybe get Xando a Happy Meal, for this victory. With that said, though, I will not be with you. It says weeklies here. I'm clearly a liar because I will not be here next week. I'm going to be in IG, over in Ireland, taking part in IGM. the sign-ups for this event go down at midnight tonight. I have been asked to chill it as much as I can, so I am going to make sure to do so. It's going to be a really good time. The Irish crowd absolutely never lets us down. So if you do want to make it out, sign-ups do close midnight. So make sure, you know, you've only got a couple of hours left before you'll lose the opportunity. If you're going to be there, make sure you let me know. I'll be more than happy to, you know, put some names to faces and meet some of the new 2XKO crowd and some familiar old faces from other scenes that I, you know, have hung out with in the past. So yeah, see you guys again in about 2 weeks' time. I will have fixed some of the issues that we ran into tonight, and with any luck, it'll be a bit of a bigger bracket as well. So apologies for that. But with that said, Yucca, you've been absolutely amazing tonight. Thank you for holding it down with absolutely no breaks. If you have anything you want to share, you know.
Well, for some of them who might be familiar with me, this time the tag is not on the screen, but Zero Fundamentals, the local scene in the Netherlands, find a way if you can check it out. That's usually where all my attention goes to, besides the commentary grind. And I will not be at the IGM, unfortunately, but you will catch me around next year at the earliest at Outplayed. So if any of you are interested in going to Austria for, I believe they also have some 2XKO action going on there, but for certainly the big highlight now is that there are an AWT event for Strive. So for any Strivers in the chat here, definitely check that out. It's going to be in January, so nice and cold in Vienna, but it's all good. It's all a lot of fun. This is a very grassroots event, and it's the go-to hub for a lot of these games, especially like BlazBlue gets massive there. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely... If you're an anime player in Europe, it's a no-brainer. Make sure you head down to Outplayed. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it this year. I'm not sure if I have enough annual leave. But, you know, now that I'm actually jobbed, I can start traveling internationally again. I missed Evo France, but, you know, on a closing note, I do now have a job. I'm not unemployed anymore. So I have to reassess, you know, what my schedule looks like going forwards. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to run 3 or 4 brackets as I have been every week recently. But with any luck anyway, I hope to see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm going to be dropping you guys off with Tampa Never Sleeps for their 2XKO event. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys again in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Alright, let's just stream down. Thank you so much. Again, you were absolutely great great on the mic, so I will be looking forward to having you on again. Preferably with someone more experienced than me, because I have not done commentary in forever.
It's still a lot of fun. I'm pretty new to the 2XKO